Bobcats. Here with Andrew Krug, myself, John Stanley. Kruger yesterday, the Tommies bested the Bobcats 3-0. It was a back and forth game. Both teams had chances. I know we got some packets here, some information regarding both teams. But what do you see yesterday? What do you think Montana State needs to change up, to come out on top today?
Yeah, I mean, we saw two teams with very different styles, and we were talking to head coach Dave Weaver before the game about
great guy.
Great guy. Gave us a whole bunch of juicy information.
I know.
Won't share all your secrets, Dave. But,
of course.
but no. Montana State, they like to play a chaotic game, and St. Thomas on the flip side is a lot more controlled, plays a lot more of a skill game. They try and isolate plays, create odd man rushes, odd man opportunities, even in tight. So Montana State, I think, half the game yesterday, they were playing their style, chaotic, getting pucks to the net and crashing hard, but at the same time, a lot was on the perimeter. There wasn't too much that was kind of threatening the middle, and I think that ultimately kind of was their downfall.
Yeah, he was talking about how he does have a lot of freshmen on the team. He was speaking to, they have a competitive schedule out west, and they ran into a team in the Central that is a top three team in the Central region. And St. Thomas just came out flying yesterday. They didn't have an answer for it. Nothing off the rush. Sounds like, he's going to kind of stick to his guns and, get pucks on net, pucks deep, all jokes aside, and, see if he can get something going. I know he highlighted, a few players, number 4, and Speth, and number 11, Clem, on the first line. They kind of shut down yesterday. So we're going to see if they can get going today. I'd love to see, Montana State pump one in quickly and, get some traction here in this series. Yeah,
well, I mean, Coach Weaver kind of said it best. He talked about the dividends and long-term dividends, not only in this game but all season. So, this game he talked about, what's the strategy coming out to try and slow St. Thomas down a little bit. It's just make sure that they know that you're there. Get a body on every single guy every single time and do whatever you can to physically slow them down. But then, ultimately he talked about win or lose these games. Obviously you want to win, right?
Of course.
Like nobody's coming in here on a 9 a.m. Saturday morning,
wanting to lose.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Of course.
But at the same time, they kind of felt like this Montana State team last year in Nationals when they ran into Miami, Ohio, that they ran into a different style that they weren't used to.
Yep.
And the sort of style that you're seeing St. Thomas play and some of these high-skilled WCCHA teams play as well.
Yeah.
So trying to get them prepared for down the road when they do inevitably run into those types of teams in Nationals.
Yeah, I love that he's playing the long game. We ran into head coach for St. Thomas, Ben Shoden, just in passing. We asked him, what he thought about the game, changing anything up. Krug, from your, coaching expertise, does St. Thomas change anything up? I mean, obviously,
no.
Everything was working yesterday. We did ask Dave Weaver, to go back to Montana State, if he's got an answer for Dylan Lewis, number 3 on St. Thomas, because that kid, we said it yesterday, he was the number one star of the game in my book. He was a problem, 100%. He was an issue, and he's like, just get a body on him, try and bring his game to him. And hopefully knock him off of it a little bit. But he was running around yesterday doing whatever he wanted to do.
Well, and he's the type of player you can't let dictate the game, right?
No.
I mean, if you're going to let him run around and hit guys.
He did yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
He did yesterday.
And you saw the results. I mean, the student section was going crazy for him.
Yeah, they loved it. They loved it. I loved it. I was like, dang, this kid's running around doing whatever he wants to do right now. Particularly for Montana State, I would like to see more, they got hemmed in their zone a little too long yesterday. Players got tired. They got the puck out, cleanly, but everyone was going to change, and they didn't get anything off the rush. Players, it was a 1-on-3. Maybe the puck gets in deep. Otherwise, you turn it over, and St. Thomas's transition game is just too fast,
right?
So you got to just spend less time in your zone. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be back and forth. high glass off the, try and get something going off the rush. They were just stymied yesterday, I felt like.
I think we saw it kind of towards the end of the first period and into the second as well. They started to fly guys far side. Granted, it's a 2-0. I can't remember. It might have been 3-0 game at this point, but they're killing a penalty at the end with 2 or 3 minutes to go. And yeah, you got to be flying guys, but it's 5-on-4, and then you have a guy out in the neutral zone making it 5-on-3. Ultimately, if you're going to play that sort of style of game, you got to make sure the puck's getting out.
Yep, and we know. We played St. Thomas 3 times. We play them every year 4 times. We know they do that very, very well.
They do.
Especially cross ice. They get that weak side winger flying across the blue line or coming up. He goes super low, comes up with speed, and they hit him cross ice, and boom, they have an easy zone entry and opportunities off the rush. So,
right. That is one thing I want to watch out for Montana State for today. They're talking about their third forward high and tracking back and see if they can't cause some breakdowns there and some easy, quick opportunities going the other way.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to – I know that Montana State's changing up goaltenders today. They're coming in. My goodness,
That's
I have
Nikolai Wallery.
Nikolai Wallery. And St. Thomas is also making a goaltender change. I know Van Eigner played yesterday. Jack Taverna. I have him at number 30. Possibly wearing number 29 today.
Okay.
We'll double check that here after the first intermission. But I'm super excited for today.
Me too. You never know what you're going to get in the second day, especially with 2 super skilled, high-paced, high-energy teams that expect to go to nationals.
How do you respond?
You can't really take anything from what happened in the game yesterday and take that into today thinking that it'll be the same story.
Yep. Gopher Club team says it all the time, can't lose on a Saturday.
Can't lose on a Saturday.
Even at 9 a.m., no excuse.
It's a beautiful Saturday today,
It is a beautiful Saturday. It's perfect.
High at 55 here in November in Minnesota.
I'm going to have to get back out on the course.
Yeah, there you go.
We got puck drop here, though. Face-off goes to St. Thomas. St. Thomas looking to regroup here for a second. It gets left behind the net for number 14, Torin Dobchuk. Dobchuk came into the game yesterday, I feel like somewhere in the second period, and he had a hell of a game. I didn't see him a ton out there. In the first period, I don't know what was going on.
I think we were looking in warm-ups. I didn't see it out in warm-ups.
They were rolling 5D.
Yeah.
But Dobchuk came in and made a difference. He huge on the back end. So that was fun to see. And they come back with Dylan Lewis to start the game. So trying to get some physicality going early.
Yep.
Puck ends up behind Montana State's bench.
Ooh, dangerous pass.
Fisher sends it up for Clem. Clem finds Loressi coming down the sidewall. Great play by Dobchuk. Dobchuk throws Loressi down to the ice. Puck ends up behind the net. Stoffel rings it up the boards for his fellow winger. Can have a turnover. St. Thomas ends. Sutton had a chance in the middle. Puck goes wide. St. Thomas collects behind their net. Montana State, even just a minute in, looking to play a little bit more aggressive, try and get on top of them, not give St. Thomas the time and space.
Well, it's very similar to how the start went yesterday, right?
Yeah.
St. Thomas was kind of hemmed in their own zone, but all of a sudden, 2, 3, 4 minutes in, you started to see them come alive.
Yeah. They're we were talking about you Mary, but just wake up a sleeping giant,
right. St. Thomas can be one of those.
And look at this, right? That line specifically, 8-7-13. They are dangerous. Their puck movement is just off the charts. Irick has it, throws it up the boards. Hallstrom keeps it in. Hallstrom finds Zach Simon. Wenty from the point throws it on net. Fairly easy save for Wallery.
I like the idea of getting pucks to the net early, especially against a new goalie. They said it's kind of almost a 1A, 1B situation.
Yep.
Obviously, you got the stud yesterday in Jorgen Johnson.
Yeah.
But, Wallery's no slouch.
Yeah, no.
Looking at his stats, he's got a better goals against average through the four or five games that he's played so far.
Oh, fantastic play by Montana State. They got a 2-on-1 here. Cherpesky comes across the line. He drops it. Cherpesky backdoor. Great save by, my apologies. I hope I'm getting this right. Jack Taverna. I know I got him as number 30, but possibly wearing 29 today. I don't know. We'll double check that at intermission.
I like that play. We didn't see a ton of a skilled puck movement kind of yesterday from the Bobcats. They might have been overwhelmed by the Tommies. And
that little set play that we saw there.
Yeah, set play. And then
take a little note there, Young corrals the puck for the Bobcats, trying to break it out. Or, my apologies, Davis. Puck ends up behind the net, behind St. Thomas's net. Davis, defenseman on the forecheck. Puck is left behind the net for Jorgensen. St. Thomas trying to create a turnover in their D zone. Jorgensen goes low to high to Young. Young goes across the blue line to Davis.
You see kind of the chaos that they're trying to create already. I mean, they're just dumping the puck in and almost kind of beating St. Thomas to it half the time.
But they've created 2 turnovers, a couple opportunities off that forecheck. So it's working so far. I think that you got to get an early one. Oh my gosh, we're going to have an early penalty on the Bobcats. St. Thomas to the power play, tripping in the middle for Jorgensen.
If you're the Bobcats, that's the last way you want to start this
game. Not 3 minutes into the game.
Give such a high-skilled team like St. Thomas an opportunity to control that puck.
Their power play is so good. They're coming out with the second line, Stoffel. Looks like Stoffel, Jet England, and Dylan Lewis. But that first one, it's that first line, 8-7-13.
I'd like to see where 3 Dylan Lewis sets up. If he gets in front of the net and kind of creates some chaos with that big body.
Yep. I know they do that for the first power play with Morissette. Just park his big you-know-what in front of the net. So
keep it a PG today.
Yeah. We're going to do our best to keep it PG. Wente at the point for St. Thomas. Throws at the net. Big block by number 11, Hayden Clem.
Hey, one of those skilled guys we were talking about before the game, getting on the PK. Let's see if he can. I mean, here he goes, almost beating the Tommies back down the ice.
Wow, he's fast. Hayden Clem on the forecheck penalty kill for Montana State. St. Thomas looking to break the puck out. Wente goes cross ice for Dylan Lewis. Dylan Lewis enters the Bobcat zone. Play's going to be whistled offsides, face-off in the neutral zone.
Yep.
If you guys are tuning in to this early M2 ACHA hockey game, would love to hear from you in the chat. Let us know where you're from, who you're rooting for. What are you doing on this Saturday morning? Would just love to hear from you guys, a little fan interaction.
So got a football Saturday. Any football teams you're rooting for today?
Any college football? I don't know.
The Gophers got a game at Rutgers coming up at 11. I'll be watching that after this.
Gophers are bowl eligible too, so we love to see that
early in the season compared to normal.
St. Thomas goes low to high. Stone King looking far side. Puck gets rang off the post by Madigan. What a great play! They're constantly looking for that backside. Stone King with a little time and space at the point finds Madigan. Madigan goes cross ice for Zach Simon. Great play by, is that Hines on the Bobcats?
Yeah, St. Thomas is getting dangerous here going cross seam. If you're Montana State, you got to tighten up the middle a little bit. You can't make your goalie move side to side that quickly.
No, especially not with wow.
St.
Thomas with a goal here on the power play. Jonathan Hallstrom off the give from Anthony Madigan. Wow, my good. What a great little give and go from the point.
Give and go, and we talk about the quick puck movement, right? If you're the goalie in that situation, if you're Wallery, you're so focused on moving back and forth across seam that you're probably getting ready for that puck to go far side, and all of a sudden it's a quick 1-2 near side from below the goal line up to the high slot in the back of the net.
Yep. Shot on the ice, just a quick one. Wow. St. Thomas takes an early 1-0 lead here. Montana State gets the puck deep. St. Thomas back to collect, looking to break it out. Puck's going to get sent all the way down to the Bobcats' end. We're going to have an icing. My goodness, we were talking about Montana State coming out firing. Obviously, they got that penalty kill to deal with, and St. Thomas' dangerous power play makes them pay.
They always are. Such a skilled team like St. Thomas. Like I said, last thing you could do as Montana State is come into this game 3 minutes and take a penalty and let St. Thomas get some confidence with the puck and again bury one.
Yep. Puck finds its way out to the neutral zone. Farina. Irick gets it deep for the Bobcats. St. Thomas defenseman back to collect. Hands it off for number 14. St. Thomas breaking the puck out, sends it down to the Bobcats' end. Sutton back to collect for the Bobcats. Turnover here, though. Little miscommunication on the breakout.
You know, Johnny, it's gut check time for Montana
It
State.
is.
I'd love to see how they respond going down early to a team that shut them out yesterday.
Yeah, right? I mean, obviously, 3-0 couldn't get on the board yesterday. Puck's going to get fired up into the net, face off in the neutral zone. But, Montana State I know Coach Weaver was saying, they have a very tough schedule, even in the West. But, these guys probably, especially young kids, he said a lot of freshmen, aren't used to playing from behind, getting shut out in a game.
So yeah, that's the question then. If you're Montana State, what do you do to try and build some confidence here and not let this spiral?
Yeah, right. Especially early, being down 1-0. So let's see. We'll see what happens. Montana State trying to get something going. Speth throws it on net. Great save by Taverna.
I like the idea. There were shots yesterday that were getting a little too high into the glove, kind of one-and-done shots. He tried to go low, but Taverna did a good job getting his glove down there, not giving up a rebound.
Well, and they I know they didn't obviously put one in, but they found some success on rebounds, getting having a guy crash the net, a little far and few between. Goalie comes out to play the puck. Brownell goes up the wall. Dylan Lewis is going to fire this back in to Bobcats end. Speth collects for the Montana State Bobcats. Bobcats looking to break it out. Brownell crosses the red line, dumps it in for the Bobcats. Morgan Speth's back to collect. And, you said it yesterday early, 26 on St. Thomas.
Yep.
He's just never makes a mistake,
No. And he'll make you pay for yours.
Yep. He's so quick, so fast. Brownell crosses the Tommies blue line, makes a play to the outside. Spets to defend. Bobcat's going to get another power play.
Talking about mistakes.
Right.
It's tough because, I feel like Montana State player kind of left the puck behind there for a second. But if you're Spets, you got to understand when to peel off and go around the other side of him and not get that stick wrapped around.
Yeah. Kind of a couple softies here in the first period. But, hey, Bobcats, after a great play by defensemen, getting that puck in low, get rewarded with a power play. Let's see what they can do here. Face-off goes to the Bobcats.
They were a little bit outside.
They were.
Yesterday.
I'd like to see – they have a guy parked out front. Oh, dangerous shot by Sutton.
There was room there.
There was. Start hitting the net, though. Irick over to Sutton. Great block by Hallstrom, your goal scorer for the St. Thomas Tommies. Trying to look up the roster here, number 29. They don't have numbers, though, on Instagram. So that's tough. But Felt corrals for the Bobcats, hands it off for Farina. Farina goes low to high. Sutton from the point throws on that great block by Morissette.
So if you're Montana State here, obviously you're moving it side to side up top, but then you're not actually creating any shooting lanes.
Oh, danger. Yeah, right? And we were talking about that yesterday. Montana State, they're going low to high. They're getting some room, but that defenseman has to, move laterally.
Right.
A, you're making the goalie move. B, you're making it harder to block that shot.
Right.
They have a guy parked right out front, so they're doing the things, necessary.
Yeah. I'd like to see if they start leaning on their on the quarterback for this power play up top in the middle to get more shots off because they keep trying to go to the sides and shots are getting blocked.
Innes throws it on net.
Yeah, right from that area right there.
Yeah, right there, Puck goes below the goal line. Back up to Innes. Innes goes cross ice. Clem cycles it back for Parent. Parent throws the puck in the corner for Laressi. Laressi hands it off for Clem. I do like that they look a lot more established today. St. Thomas seems to not be playing as aggressive.
Yeah, that's
on the penalty kill. Yesterday they were swarming.
Right, and they had success doing so.
And it worked. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the changeup was there. Puck is going to get sent all the way down to the Bobcats' end.
But to your point, it has looked like a more structured power play so far through the first minute and a half here.
Speth crosses the Tommies blue line, wheels all the way around the net. Speth looking for something back door. This puck's going to get blocked out front. Bobcats going to retain possession. Clem throws it on net. Dangerous puck out front. They had guys there. St. Thomas is just very good at clearing those pucks out of dangerous areas. Nice play by Clem in the neutral zone to keep possession. Clem's going to get it low. That's going to do it for the Bobcats power play. Few opportunities there. I think they, low to high plays, but St. Thomas right back the other way.
Yeah, if I'm Montana State and I see that power play, I think once you get it set up in the zone, opportunity.
Hallstrom, another opportunity. Huge save by Wallery.
If Montana State gets another power play here, I'd like to see if they can generate a little bit more off the rush with that extra man advantage like they do so well in 5-on-5.
They're very fast. They are very skilled. It sounds like get the puck to number 4 or 11. And let them do what they do. Young with the puck at center for the Bobcats, throws it in on net. Easy save for Taverna.
Yeah, speaking of that for Dawson Speth, he's sitting at a goal a game right now through the first 15 games.
He's a younger.
He's a freshman. He's 18, I think, right?
18, I believe Dave Weaver was saying.
So he's only getting better.
Yeah. Wow, I'd love hopefully, being a Gopher, commentator and coach and alumni. I hope we continue this relationship with Montana. I also, would be excited to see where that kid is at in 2-3 years,
what's the ceiling for that kid, right?
Exactly.
You come in as an 18-year-old.
St. Thomas with a step here. Madigan tries to go cross ice. Owen Davis gonna make a great play defensively. Cherpesky across the blue line, looking for someone, hands it off. Ooh, dangerous shot by Owen Davis.
Something I'm seeing here early, Johnny. Second wave of attack. Opportunity. Blocked it out of play.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. That second wave of offense, though, right? We didn't really see it a ton yesterday, I don't think.
No.
With, it was, like we said, one and done off the rush. 2 or 3 guys, or maybe, the defenders were changing. But early on here, we see, that 4th, even 5th guy from Montana State jumping in, being that second wave of attack, and it's causing some problems for the Tommies.
Yeah. And I think that it starts in the Bobcat zone. You spend too much time down there. Guys obviously get tired. You finally get the puck out, and St. Thomas, their transition is so good. You dump that in, boom, it's going to be back in your end before you know it. So it's nice to see them get a little more off the rush. Great step there by Fisher. Takes one high.
I don't know how you take one high when you're
6'5", when you're 6'5". I don't know either, but he got one right in the chops there. Oh man.
I'm just glad that wasn't me sitting here at 5'7" taking an elbow.
Yeah,
but,
right. I know.
My head.
I know it's kind of early for these guys. I'm sure they're ready to go, but I'm anticipating the physicality to pick up here.
Surely it will.
Watch out for number 3 on St. Thomas to get that going for him.
Oh, I hope he's had his Wheaties.
Oh, yeah. That's a kid who's circled on the Bobcats.
Yep.
On the Bobcats end.
Number 3 on both sides, right?
Number 3 on both sides, yep. Fisher's another guy who loves throwing his weight around. So puck's going to end up back at center. Bobcats going to be called for the offsides. Going to have to retreat. St. Thomas looking to break the puck out. Spetz goes across ice. Puck's going to get sent all the way down. Wallery covers up.
A little confusion from St. Thomas there. I haven't really seen them on the same page so far. Now, granted, they did have that power play where they looked real good, and they were moving the puck well, but at the same time, they're having some of those same struggles breaking the puck cleanly out of their own zone that we saw in the first couple minutes yesterday. But, we're almost 12 minutes into this game at this point.
Yeah, right. 5-on-5, it seems to be, Montana State's looks like they're playing the game that they, came here to play.
Yep.
So icing's going to be waved off. Wente back to collect for the Tommies. Hands it off for Hallstrom. Big hit there in the corner by Loressi. St. Thomas crosses center ice. Dylan Lewis from the outside sends it high off the glass. Puck's going to find its way back out to the neutral zone. Bobcats collect, looking to break it out. Speth through the neutral zone. Hands it off for Loressi. Loressi throws it on net. Easy save by Taverna. Speth, though, collects in the corner. Loressi in the slot throws a dangerous puck. Just couldn't quite get all of that.
It's these turnovers.
I know.
Johnny. That's what Coach Weaver was talking about before the game. If they can force turnovers below the top of the circles, that's kind of where St. Thomas killed them last night, right? And St. Thomas is such a skilled team. Once they force those turnovers, they're making plays with it. Montana State, they're doing a good job though early. Yeah,
it looks like Montana State kind of changed a hair more passive on the forecheck.
Yep.
They understand
more controlled.
If you have 2 guys coming in hard, for Montana State. St. Thomas is so skilled, they're going to pass right around that.
You make 2-3 passes in 2 seconds and they're gone.
Yeah, and they're good enough to do that. It looks like they're kind of running, a little softer 1-2-2, and they're kind of bottling up, the breakout for the Tommies.
And maybe that helps kill Tommy's transition game too, right? If you can hem them in their own zone, cause some of those turnovers, you can't get them going up the ice as quickly as they do.
Yeah, it sounds like Montana State likes to play like a, bat out of hell, but
they
that's
got
just,
the guys to do it.
Yeah, but also, that might not work against a team like the Tommies who's just going to pass it.
Right.
Tic-tac-toe around you. Like, here we go. Madigan across the blue line, pulls up to the half wall. Oh, he did have Stone King backdoor, just couldn't corral it. Zach Simon trying to get the puck to the net. Bobcats break it up. Young goes high off the glass, gets it out to center. Bobcats with a 2-on-1 here. Ellingson throws at the net off of Taverna's mask. They're getting a lot more opportunities off the rush. They're trying to go high off the glass, and they're, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's a second or third 2-on-1 already.
Yep. And they're understanding they might not be able to pass it around St. Thomas's forecheck. So they're like, hey, high off the glass, get the puck out, see if we can win a foot race.
Yep.
Young goes across to Davis. Davis gets the puck into the St. Thomas end, but here's the transition game. Zach Simon takes the puck in the corner.
Great numbers back for Montana State, though.
Yeah, great play by Davis. Davis, a few shifts in here has played really well defensively.
In a tough performance for Montana State last week.
Oh, big hit by Farina. St. Thomas player a little slow to get up. Puck's going to go off the post. Oh, wow, number 12 on St. Thomas, Ben Tartan, had a goal yesterday. Man, he got blown up in the corner there.
He's moving a little slow right now. I'm not sure if he – I mean, it didn't look like a fun hit to take. I don't think it was anything too serious.
As a defenseman, I would not love that at 9:30 in the morning, but hey.
Good morning.
Oh, puck's going to stay in for the Tommies. Tommy's going to send it behind the net. Fisher back to collect for the Bobcats. Fisher sends it up the boards for Jorgensen. Great play there by Dylan Lewis. Corrals it for the Tommies only for a second. Sutton's going to fire this down into the Tommies end.
Johnny, we were starting to talk about number 5, Owen Davis, right? And the defensive play he made down in his own zone. That's an Edina kid. He's a local kid.
Is he?
Okay. He might have an advantage here, say, like understanding how to defend against this style of play, right?
I think, you're absolutely right, because I think Jimmy's interview yesterday with the parent, I think that was Owen Davis's dad.
Gotcha.
So, parents are probably super pumped to be able to see their kid play.
3 games in one weekend, right?
In the Twin Cities, 3 games in one weekend. And again, if you guys are parents watching this game or family, would love to hear from you in the chat. I'm going to pull that up here, see if anything's going on. Just would love to hear from you guys, who you rooting for, who you watching.
It's a 1-0 game, Johnny, for St. Thomas, but I've liked Montana State's game better this period. They're knocking on the doorstep. Yep.
Jenny Jackson's in the chat again. I know she was cheering for number 18 on St. Thomas, Jed England, yesterday. So nice to see the England and Jackson family tuning into the second game here. Puck's going to find its way into the Montana State end. They're going to break the puck out. Loressi over the red line. Loressi is going to throw it down behind the net. Luke Morissette to collect for the Tommies. Morissette coming up the boards. Sends it forward for fellow winger. Bobcats trying to stop the Tommies here. Loressi goes high off the glass. He's got a man. Clem's going. Great play by St. Thomas. Take out Clem.
Yeah, don't want to let that guy get loose on a break.
No. It sounds like he, he's one of those dangerous forwards, one of those skill guys that the Bobcats have up front. Great play. Cherpesky with the puck in the slot. Oh, what a play by Torin Dobchuk. Called his name a couple times here so far. Cherpesky, if he gets that move off, he's got all the time and the space in the world. St. Thomas, dangerous forecheck. Ben Tartan's going to have it at the point. Sends it low. Little bobble of the puck there.
If we had to guess, and we don't have a shot counter up here on the scoreboard, what do you think the shots are right now?
I'd say Montana State's up in that department.
I think so too.
Obviously a couple power plays. Cherpesky with an outside opportunity.
And not necessarily outside shots, too. They're getting to the middle.
They are. They're getting opportunities in the middle and, a few rebound opportunities. They haven't been able to corral one.
There goes
We're going to have a broken stick by Brownell. St. Thomas, dangerous. Great play by Ellingson, just on the fly. That's heads-up hockey
What a
right
heady
there.
play, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Forward tracking back, you understand that defenseman needs to have a stick, pass it right off.
In a split second, you're like, here you go. There's that, transition game by St. Thomas, though. Broken stick, obviously, broken play, but boom, boom, that puck's back in your zone.
Right. Let's see if St. Thomas can't take the last couple minutes here to generate some pressure. I mean, they haven't really had a ton of pressure like we saw last night. It's been pretty one and done.
Not quite like yesterday. Montana State came out flying. We got just about 3 minutes here left in the first period. Great play by Irick, but he didn't have anyone in the middle. St. Thomas might have numbers here. Anthony Madigan across the blue line, takes it to the corner. He's looking for Simon backdoor. Throws a dangerous puck out front. Hallstrom over to Wente. Wente from the point. Easy save by Wallery.
Nobody in front of the net.
Yeah.
Montana State's doing a really good job early, getting people in front of Taverna and causing havoc, right? St. Thomas, I mean, they're a more skilled team, but you got nobody in front of the net. You got a shot from the point. They're going to goalies can eat that up all day.
Yep. I think we were talking about it earlier. I think Montana State just really needs to focus on getting those shots to the net. St. Thomas is doing an awesome job blocking pucks.
Right.
They did yesterday. They're doing a great job today. A little more movement at the blue line and get pucks down to the net. Parent's going to collect for the Bobcats. Tries to go cross ice. Little miscommunication. Wente's going to fire this puck back into Montana State end.
I was just about to say, this is the first time I feel like I'm looking to the right a little bit more than I'm looking to the left. But right as I'm saying that, puck's coming back out the other way.
Yeah. Just about 2 minutes here left in the first period. St. Thomas still up 1-0 by the Hallstrom goal on the power play. Bobcats back to collect. Great play by Hill. I think that's a new face in the lineup today for the Bobcats. Dobchuk on the regroup, sends it cross ice for his deep partner. Dobchuk finds a man in the middle, crosses the red line. Puck's going to get sent down to the Bobcats end. Wallery stops it for a second, goes up the boards. Huge hit there on the wall. Jorgensen goes cross ice for Loressi. Loressi trying to get something going on Dobchuk. Just fantastic defensive play. Lewis finds a man in the middle. Wesson-Ness, though, collects for the Bobcats. Coming around the wall, he's looking for a man. Look at that, St. Thomas. 2 guys low on the forecheck there. 2 guys below the goal line.
And a third defenseman getting down there as well in Morgan Spets.
It's just 1 or 2 passes and boom, the Bobcats got an odd man rush.
I mean, St. Thomas almost getting a taste of their own medicine from yesterday.
Yep. Puck, I think, is going to be friendly fire out front. St. Thomas breaking the puck out. Ben Tartan comes across the blue line. Bobcats.
With 1 minute left here in this first period, if you're coach Ben Shoden for the Tommies, are you happy with it? You're up 1-0 on the scoreboard, but what are you telling the guys when you go into the room there? I don't think you're necessarily too happy.
No, I don't. I think if you played that period 5-on-5, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, both teams had power plays. Penalty kill came out a little more passive for the Tommies, but no, I don't think so. 5-on-5, Montana State's done a really good job of not allowing St. Thomas to just break the puck out at will. They've done a really good job of, stymieing the rush for St. Thomas, which we know is dangerous, and they're getting more opportunities. I think if you're St. Thomas, you got to focus on getting guys back, keeping that third guy high, backside pressure off the rush.
Well, the thing Tommies do have going for them as well is they can make you pay in 5 seconds. Here we go.
They can. Here we go. Puck gets sent down into one. We're going to – oh, man, I think the Bobcats got saved by the bell there.
A little bit.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no, I fear Ben Shoden. It wasn't quite the same game, but, again, that in many ways is a sleeping giant.
Right.
So this next period, little wake-up for St. Thomas. Luckily, they go, into the intermission with a 1-0 lead. But I don't want to say breathing room, but you got something to build on. This second period might be totally different.
You can almost say, hey, like we got away with that 20 minutes. Let's get back to our game because this Montana State team is not going to make it easy. I've been impressed by Speth and Hayden Clem as well. I think those two have been making some real good plays, creating some opportunities.
Yeah, no, they, yesterday for a multitude of reasons. Oh gosh, that was close by the Zam driver, almost hitting the boards. Oh my gosh. No, yesterday the Bobcats, talking to Dave Weaver, he said watch out for 4 and 11. They're two very skilled forwards up front. They're creating more time and space for themselves. That second wave of offense coming into the zone, drop passes. They do have a really good net front presence. I think they just need to start getting pucks more to the net. Sometimes it's not always a good thing, but make that extra pass.
Right.
And they're also not. They're allowing easy saves for Taverna. They're not going. They're not looking for that back door. They're not looking for someone sitting at the back post.
Right. But they have been more effective with their kind of chaotic style today.
They have
creating bounces in the slot.
Yep. Couple semi-dangerous opportunities, but I think if you're Montana State, you got to get a little more creative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is a high-skill game. St. Thomas does a really good job at it of finding the open man, taking that extra half a second to make that play. And I think if you're the Bobcats, you got to do the same thing.
I mean, we said it yesterday. If you're a goalie playing at this level on a St. Thomas team or a Montana State team, you're going to make the first save every time.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So. Exactly. These goalies are just too dang good. We got an interview. We got an interview here that we did yesterday with head coach of the St. Thomas Tommies, Ben Shoden. We're going to play that for you right now, everyone. Hi, I'm John with JP Showcase. I'm here with Ben Shoden, the head coach for the University of St. Thomas Tommies. Ben, this weekend, Montana State's coming in here. You guys have never met them before. What was kind of the talk around the locker room this week leading up to this weekend?
Yeah, I think for us it's just a big test. Every year they're making it to nationals. Every year they're top in their region. They're very well coached. They're very well structured, and they're big bodies. So I think for us it's just kind of using our speed and our talents and trying to slow them down and eliminate turnovers. But it's a good test for us because they're always a top team every year.
Awesome, wonderful. I was seeing that the rankings, I think they were supposed to come out this week. Yeah. I'm not sure if they have, but thus far in the season, what have you been seeing with your group? How are things going?
I think so far so good. I'd like to see some more consistency all throughout 60 minutes of the game. I think at times we can be really hot and we can be really cold. So kind of minimize the peaks and the valleys. I think overall our leadership has done a fantastic job bringing the guys together. I know every year that's kind of a difficulty with teams, just getting everyone to buy in and jump on the train. So I think that's going well. It's just how do we put things together? How do we put 60 minutes together? How do we play the way that we need to play? Because now with our experience the last 2 years, we know what it takes to win, and we're still not there yet, in our opinion. So.
Okay. Wow. That to me is just a little, surprise. Last year you guys were second in the region, bypass regionals. What is that bar set for this season? We don't want to lose anybody. So I mean, you obviously you're gonna have bumps in the road. They're gonna happen, but I mean, our goal this year is to go back to back in our conference, which years ago that was the biggest thing for our teams. We have the U of M coach right over here. Like the biggest thing was just winning the Carla. So obviously we want to secure that again. But then I think the last 2 years we've been right there at nationals. We've lost to very good hockey teams, but we want to go all the way. And tonight's a very good test to kind of benchmark where our guys think they're at. Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for your time today, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Wonderful. Yeah, a little interview with Ben Shoden, head coach for the St. Thomas Tommies. Nice little insight into the team. We want to take a second to apologize. We did get the goalies. We didn't have the roster readily available. Yep. Goalie for the St. Thomas Tommies, Axel
Axel Rosenlund.
Axel Rosenlund. So
Or Rosenlund?
Good showing by him in the first period. That interview with St. Thomas head coach. What did you take away from that, Kruger?
It's the same thing I think we took away from the one with Coach Dave Weaver. Right? They're using this as a test, as where do we stack up? What kind of teams are we going to run into at nationals, and what do we need to focus on going forward throughout the rest of the season to be able to make sure that we're prepared once we get there?
Yep.
So, I think they did a really good job yesterday, but, it's going to be the same thing at nationals.
Yeah.
You run into a team that you play real well, maybe in pool play one day, and then you have to turn around and play a very skilled team the next day, and it's a completely different story. So
yeah, it I keep kind of coming back to this, just thinking about, Montana State's game. It's kind of like, you're hitting your head against the wall, expecting something different to happen, expecting a little break here and there,
right.
But they're not getting inside opportunities. They got a couple, a few more shots. They outshot the Tommies. It looks like 15-10 is what our scorekeepers got. And I think that's fair. I think that they did outshoot the Tommies, but they're all outside opportunities. They're all shots from outside the top of the circle, outside the dots, easy saves for Rosenlund. And how do you get that internal pressure? You know what I'm saying? Like either creativity or those shots got to get through with some traffic, with some bodies out front. And St. Thomas has just been doing such a good job of blocking those shots. And they're not getting through right now,
I think if you're Montana State, you have to be real intentional with what kind of shots you're taking.
Yep.
So we talked about from the point yesterday that it was stagnant. There was no movement on the point. It was creating creating situations where those defensemen wouldn't have the time to be able to allow their forwards to get to the net and cause some of that chaos. And they would just have to throw the puck on net. It was one and done opportunity, and you go heading right back out of your own zone.
Yep.
So if you're Montana State, I'd almost be talking to the defensemen. They have a lot of zone pressure, right?
Yep.
But I'd almost be talking to those defensemen, either get moving on the blue line side to side, or, St. Thomas, they're blocking shots, they're flying out to the point. Make one quick move, be deceptive.
Yep.
Make a quick pivot over to the right, left, whichever direction, but, get horizontal, and then allow your forwards to get to the net and throw it there.
Yeah. Yep. Taking a page out of St. Thomas's book, they do a really, really good job of keeping that third guy high. And when they have possession of the puck, they utilize that third guy coming right down Main Street, that soft spot just above the top of the circles, right in the middle. They had a goal yesterday, Tartan off the rush. Defenseman getting up in the play. They had a few other opportunities. I believe Hallstrom had an opportunity yesterday. He did capitalize on that today. And I think the Bobcats could, take a page out of Tommy's book, utilize that third guy high, give your defenseman another option that's not just D to D.
Right.
And you create, essentially a 3-on-2 up top. You know what I'm saying? That those two wingers need to decide who they're going to go, and you find the open man and you get an opportunity.
And so this kind of speaks to a bigger point as well, because if you watch a lot of high-skilled hockey games like NHL games, pro NCAA D1 games, you see more and more nowadays as the skill gets higher and higher, that third forward ending up top of the circles on the blue line because there's a lot more space out there, right?
Yep.
Montana State almost is kind of allowing themselves to get cordoned into the bottom half of the O-zone with their three forwards. There's no space. St. Thomas, they're good positionally. They know how to shut that down. So, talk about kind of speaking to a bigger point. Club hockey is college hockey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got guys out here who were on, they played really high-level juniors. Guys that have played with other guys who are, playing D1 right now, D3. Like, it's a lot of high-skilled hockey. And you got to adjust with the times. And when you see other teams that are doing things really well, sometimes you got to take a page out of their playbook.
You're absolutely right. It and if anyone wants to fight me on that fact, whether club hockey is college hockey, I would love to hear about it. I will advocate for that all day long.
Yeah, start some arguments in the chat.
I'd love to hear it.
Although I hope everybody listening here is a fan of that sentiment.
Yeah, of course. So. I was watching. I think it was like NHL Tonight. Every few years or so, you watch the evolution of, particularly the NHL, because it's so fast. Guys are so big. There's so little time and space. I don't know if you've seen the everyone on the power play is utilizing that bumper, but it's a
it's a north and south bumper rather than a side to side.
Exactly. Yep. And I don't know if that pertains to this game. They did use it wasn't really a bumper. St. Thomas had a defenseman coming into that positioning, but that's just that's wild. They pass from the point to the net.
It's almost supposed to be a tip.
Yeah,
right.
But they one time it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it takes so much skill to pull that
you have
off.
to be so good.
Right.
I don't even understand. I think Colorado utilizes it with McKinnon to perfection.
Baby Bay does it with Kucherov.
With
too.
Kucherov,
Well, he's usually the one making the pass. But.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's crazy. I think back to that point earlier, it just feels like Montana State's kind of hitting their head against the wall, trying to grind down St. Thomas. Well, St. Thomas can play that game. They can also play a skill game. And so eventually you're going to have a little creativity and a little bit of skill. You're going to have to get pucks to the interior rather than just grind it out in the corner and get pucks to the point. And they were having, success off the rush. They had multiple 2-on-1s that period, plays high off the glass, guys swinging through, winning foot races. The Bobcats are obviously no slouch. I mean, they're number one in their region for a reason. They're probably going to be number one in their region this year. And they were winning foot races in the neutral zone to create those 2-on-1s, and they weren't spending all that time in their D zone trying to grind down St. Thomas.
And Montana State might have their work cut out for them. So, I mean, we are obviously very familiar with St. Thomas. And Coach Ben showed an incredible coach. He talked about his journey over the last several years to take this program to what it is. But it's not only from obviously getting the right people and getting the right leadership in that program, but the style and the adjustments and the coaching as well, right? I'd expect Ben to come out here and make some of those changes to avoid all those odd man rushes. I'd maybe look for 2 or 3 guys dropping back off the rush to defend for St. Thomas a little bit more. Play a little bit more passive, kind of like we talked about Montana State, how they started out today.
A guy whose number we called endlessly yesterday, number 3, Dylan Lewis. We haven't seen, that first period. We didn't see quite as much from him. So I'd expect him to get going here in the second period, starting to get, maybe physical. It's now, almost 10 a.m., probably a little more woken up. Maybe you had some
caffeine's kicking
coffee in the locker
smelling
room.
Salts are going.
So I'd expect him to get going this period. He's a guy who can, I don't want to say dictate the game, but he can spark his team, with just a shift.
Right.
Go out there and make 2 or 3, nice body checks. And he can spark the St. Thomas team, and they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They in the matter of a couple minutes, can turn the tides.
Hey, credit to Montana State, though. They're not really letting that happen. It's tough to have the energy and the wherewithal to be able to do that when you feel like you're chasing the puck back into your own zone the entire game.
Yep.
So,
no, that was a cool conversation that we had with Coach Ben Shoden yesterday. If you're not familiar, you have been following St. Thomas hockey. Sounds like Ben was a player for the Tommies. Became the head coach the year after he got done playing.
Yep.
Had relationships with guys. We had the opportunity to ask him, having played against them, it seemed like one season to another, they just took a step.
Just flipped a switch.
Just flipped a switch. And it was cool to ask him, hey, what happened? How did that take place? And, he said, something that I took away from that was he's like, it started with leadership. I had some unbelievable, seniors and captains on that team that created the expectation for the team and didn't, held everyone accountable to that. So
it's one thing if there's a voice in the room coming from the coach where you're trying to get, the players motivated and players bought into the system. And Coach Weaver from Montana State was talking about how he's trying to get guys bought into the system. Ultimately, what your goal is for a program is that you don't have to do that. Right?
Yeah.
You have your captains, your alternate captains that are able to do that for you and drag the rest of the guys along.
Yep.
So it's not just one coach that's maybe not as connected within that room as a lot of the guys are trying to push that message.
Well, obvious fact, coaches don't play the game. You know what I'm saying? So you need the guys on the ice to be bought in. Your, current assistant coach for the Gopher Club team who we'll be bringing you the game tomorrow, Montana State versus University of Minnesota Golden Gophers from Mariucci. Same time tomorrow, 9 a.m. But that's something that, I feel I'm very proud to say that I feel like I helped build the culture a little bit. But that's something that the Gophers have came in this year of like, wow, we can build on what we did last year, and we can take this as far as we want to take it. Right. You got two teams here who have seen things come to fruition for them. Both teams making it to nationals last year. Both teams auto-bid to nationals last year. And so it was really cool to be able to speak to Ben Choden about how did you develop that culture, right. What things took place for that to happen. And, his responses were super cool. Leadership and just getting guys bought in.
Right.
So we got the second period here about to start. St. Thomas still up obviously 1-0 off the power play goal by Jonathan Hallstrom. See how the Montana State Bobcats respond. We do got a long change. This period. St. Thomas dangerous in that second period. They're so fast. Their transition game is so good. Hopefully the Bobcats can kind of calm things down a little bit.
Yeah, so this is the period where I kind of expected St. Thomas to turn it on and dominate yesterday. Honestly, I think Montana State weathered the storm pretty well in the second period. Yeah. See if they can't do it again.
But again, weathering the storm is only going to get you so far. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. You gotta create opportunities. You got to get something going. Face off here at center ice. Dylan Lewis trying to get something going. There's that second wave with Stoffel, throws it on net. Dylan Lewis right out front. Puck slips off his stick. Speth for the Bobcats. He's looking for Laressi far. It's going to get played off Laressi's back. Play is going to be whistled off sides. I think that was kind of the right call. I don't think Laressi had possession of the puck.
It took a weird bounce off his back. I think he made it over the line before the puck did. So.
Yep.
We were talking. It was yesterday, right? It was pretty well reffed. You never really know what you're going to get in club hockey.
100%.
A ton of respect for these refs. I mean, it's not an easy job.
Even Dave Weaver said it before the game. He was like, I thought it was a very fair game, back and forth. He did talk to his guys. He loves them playing on the edge, but he also, wants them to not lose focus of, hey, we're playing hockey here, Rosemary Nielsen, number 20, Gino Gotti on St. Thomas. Grammy in Montana. Okay, so maybe a little split. Obviously cheering for her grandson, but coming
that's
at
awesome.
You from
well,
Montana.
Thanks for tuning in. A little bit earlier for you out there, huh?
Yep. Face off here in the neutral zone. St. Thomas going to win it. It's going to end up below the goal line. Looking to break it out. Great play. Tartan sends the puck up the board. Dobchuk sends it up the boards.
Yep, there's another one of those D-zone turnovers for the Tommies.
Montana State. Great pinch by Fisher. Had Speth in the middle there. Puck's going to find its way out to the neutral zone. Great play by Brownell. He's going to flip it down into the St. Thomas end. Dobchuk for the Tommies. Breaks the puck out.
Oh, we got a shot count up now.
Yep.
Hey, like we said, 15-10 Montana
15-10,
State.
exactly.
So they're dictating the shots. Now it's about what kind of opportunities they can create from them.
Exactly.
Little scuffle going on across the ice.
Oh, geez.
Talk about the physicality picking up.
Yeah,
Here we go.
It looked like, what is that, Zach Simon? No, Dylan Lewis.
What
Dylan
did we say?
What did we say?
Right in the middle of it.
Look for him to get going here in the second period. Looked like Dylan Lewis was holding on to Fisher's stick. Are we going to have
I think they're taking
couple
both.
penalties?
Yeah, should go 4-on-4.
I believe we're going to have 4-on-4 hockey. Those two were going at it yesterday too, number 3 and number 3. So, hey, there we go. First shift, Dylan Lewis. Even if it's a penalty, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Get going somehow.
Well, it should be 4-on-4 now.
I think so, but maybe I'm not sure. Irick takes the puck across the line for the Bobcats, throws it on net. Puck goes wide.
Honestly, I'm almost thinking Montana State caught a break there. I would give the edge to the Tommies 4-on-4.
Yeah, 100% with the open ice and their speed, especially if they play this line 7, 8, 13.
Yep.
I mean, those kids they're very, very good. Yep. Hallstrom to break the puck out for the Tommies finds Madigan.
Ooh.
Big hit there by Neal on the Bobcats. Bobcats coming out throwing their weight around. Wesson S finds his winger. Puck's going to get held in by Parker Wente. Puck gets wrapped around. St. Thomas all over that. Weston S trying to break the puck out. He finds fellow winger across the Irick. Little miscommunication. Here's that transition game, though. Zach Simon with a little time and space. Oh, just mishandled the puck a little bit. See, I'd like to see that Bobcat defenseman just take another second, you know?
Right.
Instead of wrapping the puck around. They do that pretty often, actually, ringing the puck around.
Well, the thing I think that they have going for them in this game is they have the support. You know, we've seen a couple plays already.
Ooh, dangerous little puck
Yeah.
that ends up on the side of the net. Puck's going to get sent all the way down on net. St.
Rosenlund plays it.
Rosenlund. Yep. Thank you so much to the scorekeepers for letting us know that.
Apologies to any of the Rosenlund fans.
If you guys are tuning in, I apologize. If you want to, say something in the chat, tell me I'm bad at my job. That's fine. Morgan Spetz retreats with the puck, looking to break it out. Hands it off for Luke Morissette. Finds Spetz cross ice. Look at that speed through the neutral zone. Defenseman throws it towards the net. Dobchuk's going to hold it in at the point. Puck goes behind the net. Morissette collected for a moment. St. Thomas gets the puck out of their zone, crosses the blue line. Owen Davis gets the puck deep for the Bobcats.
I'm looking to see a big period out of Davis here.
Yep. He played really well in that first period.
He did. He played really well yesterday. I was going to say he's one of the bright spots in kind of a tough game for the Bobcats.
Yep. St. Thomas, though, collects in their own zone.
I will say it's hard to be a bright spot when you're stuck in the box, but
True.
I'm sure Coach Weaver had a conversation with him after that game.
Yep. Ellingson crosses the St. Thomas blue line, throws it on that. Easy save by Rosenlund.
And the 2 number 3s get loose.
2 number 3s let out of the box. I'm gonna be excited for Dylan Lewis's next shift here. Obviously takes a penalty. They took both of them, but he's going to go out there and he's going to start throwing his weight around. It's going to open this game up for the Tommies, I think, a little bit.
Just you wait until those two get out there against each other again.
Yep.
They both play a lot, so they will.
Yep, going to have to watch out for those two. Puck gets thrown at the net. Wallery deflects it to the corner. Bobcats trying to create something off the rush here. Mundell collects for the Bobcats. Parent in the middle. Parent was another one we were talking to Dave Weaver. Fourth line center, but I was super impressed with his game yesterday. He was all over the ice. His backside pressure, back checking. I felt like he was also a huge bright spot for the Bobcats.
Absolutely. I mean, whenever he was out on the ice, it felt like something good was happening, whether it be offensive or defensive.
Yeah, or even, just a simple breakout. Look at the back check by Jorgensen there. Wonderful play by Fisher. Puck's going to find its way to the corner. Bobcats looking to break the puck out. Turnover here, though. Dylan Lewis has someone backdoor. Oh, my gosh. He had all the net in the world. Just couldn't bury. Laressi off the rush, though. Comes in, goes high and wide. Oh, my gosh. Dangerous tip there.
It's loose.
Bobcats trying to get something going here. And Ness throws it on net. Oh, my gosh. Couple opportunities there for the Bobcats. I love to see it. I hope the Bobcats get it going, but Stoffel is going to gain possession of the puck coming through the neutral zone. Throws it cross ice. No one's home.
Yeah, Montana State dodging a bullet there.
Yeah.
A wide open net to potentially make it a 2-0 game, and all of a sudden they're generating pressure back the other way.
I love it. Look at those tips out front. Get pucks through. Get
what did
tips
we say,
on net.
right?
There we go. It's a little easier from up here.
Yeah.
Me and Duty always say that. It's a little easier when we're watching. But Dylan Lewis collects for the Tommies, looking for a breakout. Dylan Lewis is going to send it all the way down. I hope the Bobcats can win this next draw because I think you got some tired legs out there for the Tommies. Dylan Lewis and Stoffel. I think Spetz has been out there for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, so. And, frustrated as well. I think Spetz and Clem were just going at it a little bit behind the play there. So
okay. Love to see it. Things are heating up a little bit. Heating up at 10 in the morning. I love to see it.
Well, if you're Montana State, though, again, like we talked about it yesterday, you got to come back in 24 hours and do this all over again.
Yeah, right. Dangerous. Puck deflected out front. Finds its way behind the net. Morgan Spetz trying to break the puck out for the Tommies. Going to go cross ice to Lewis. Big hit there by Farina. Dylan Lewis didn't like that, not one bit.
That's hockey, baby.
Bobcats trying to press the issue. Sutton across the blue line throws it at the net. Great block there by the Tommies defenseman. Huge hit by Farina. He's running around out there.
Another Minnesota kid, Minnetonka, I believe.
Okay.
Farina.
Maybe he knows Jack Sam. I'm guessing so.
Probably.
Farina behind the net tries to center one. Sutton just couldn't get all of it. St. Thomas back the other way. Anthony Madigan. Wonderful play there by Wes Ines to shut down Madigan. Ines looking to break the puck out. Goes cross ice for Shepherdson. Shepherdson makes a man miss initially. Corrals the puck. Finds a man at the point. Owen Davis throws it towards the net. Puck goes just wide. Shepherdson throws it at the net off the post.
Bobcats extending their shot lead.
Yep, Bobcats are moving right now. I love to see it. Shepherdson goes low to high. Young throws it towards the net. Tries to get tipped out front by Trepesky. Ellingson loses his footing in the corner. Trepesky, though, gains possession for the Bobcats. Cycles it back for Ellingson. Ellingson goes behind the net. Great defensive play there by center Stone King. Net's going to get knocked off. Trepesky kind of gets taken out there.
You know, just more of the same this period for St. Thomas.
Yeah.
I was wondering what, Coach Schoden would talk to them in the locker room about in the intermission. Probably wasn't too happy with that first period. Felt like a lot of the play was in their own zone, but I'm not seeing anything too different from the Tommies to change that.
Yep. Montana State just came out buzzing this period.
Yep.
And they've got a lot of good opportunities. Pucks are finally getting through, and they're getting tips on them. And getting opportunities right there. A little miscommunication.
You have enough of those, they're going to go in.
Yep. Zach Simon's going to go cross ice for Madigan, who's going to leave it for Stone King. Nice little play there. Zach Simon with an opportunity. Dangerous centered puck. Oh, man, I think the Bobcats. Oh, great play by Mundell. Crosses over the Tommies blue line. Hallstrom's going to take the body in the corner.
Mundell stood out for me today.
Yeah. He was, I think he was that extra forward for the Bobcats yesterday. I think he finds his way into, top 12 lineup today. So
you keep making plays like that, you might stay there.
Playing very well. Play's going to be whistled. Face off.
I think it's just an offsides.
Offsides? I don't know. That was called by the back ref, so I'm not sure.
Sometimes they'll help each other out. If one misses an offside call.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brownell's in the box.
Okay, all right. St. Thomas looks like back to the power play. Refs are talking about this, not in the circle. So
yeah. So normally if the refs go and talk about a penalty after it's called, it's usually about whether there's additional discipline, whether it's a 5-minute major. I didn't see what happened though.
I did not either. That was
right
just out of our
Tommy's
view.
Bench. Yeah.
Tommies like to stand on the bench, so we don't get to see much. Refs are really talking this one over. Brownell to the box for 2 minutes initially. St. Thomas, you can't give them power plays. You know what I'm saying?
And not 5 minutes worth.
And it's tough because you got to skate with their speed. You got to slow them down. But you can't give them power plays because their power play is just so dangerous.
Well, it's that fine line that Coach
So
Weaver
dangerous.
was talking about, right? Like, if you're going to play on the edge, there's a chance that you're going to cross it.
Yep. And, having played St. Thomas every year for, 4 times a year for 3 years, we knew that they were going backdoor. That was something that, I at least game planned for. And when you give them power plays like that, especially with a guy like Zach Simon backdoor, like he is going to make them pay.
Yeah. Well, one of the most, if not the most skilled power play in the WCCHA.
Yeah, they're so good.
We like our go for power play.
We do.
These Tommies are good.
They're very, very good. They're still talking this one over. I'm not sure what the call is. Ref's going to talk to head coach Dave Weaver. Double minor.
You don't see that often
Yeah,
in club hockey
No.
because normally double minors come from, say, like a high stick or there's blood drawn, but we're all wearing cages or bubbles.
Yeah. Well, me and Duty were talking about it last weekend. We got called for a high sticking against St. John's. That in and of itself is kind of a weird,
Yeah. And granted, it is still a high stick if you hit the guy in his helmet. But at the same time, I think in this situation, the guy was lying on the ice, right?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure. But St. Thomas to a 4-minute power play here. Bobcats got their work cut out for them. Tartan's going to hold the puck in for the Tommies. Dylan Lewis trying to grind it out in the corner. Great play by Weston S. to stifle that one.
Really aggressive penalty kill for Montana State, not giving the Tommies any respect.
Dylan Lewis going to go low to high to Tartan. Tartan trying to look for Lewis. Play gets broken up by Cherpesky. Yeah, no, this is where I think if you're the Bobcats, we were saying it, you got to weather the storm here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a dangerous power play, a good puck-moving team. And you just got to weather the storm a little bit here.
And with the Tommies, if you're going to play that aggressively against them, you got to be able to keep it up for 4 minutes.
Yeah, right. Especially with the long chains.
Right.
This is a bad time to get 4 minutes. But, hey, it is what it is. You got to, that's hockey, Dylan Lewis fires it in for the Bobcats. Wallery's going to cover up.
If you're Wallery there, I'd almost like to have a defenseman get back quick, drop that puck for him, and just fire it down.
Yeah, get it down.
Right? It's clean possession.
Yep, absolutely. At least the Bobcats get a change there.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? You don't want these guys. It brings me back to when we had a 5-on-3 against Florida Gulf Coast. And I think it was a 5-minute.
It was a 5-minute.
Or something like that.
It was a 5-minute major and then a full 2-minute 5-on-3.
Oh, my gosh, dude. I played
you were
4
out there for
minutes
that,
of that kill.
Yeah,
oh, my God. It was brutal. And we killed it off, though. We killed it off. St. Thomas with a dangerous
State looking to do the same.
Yep, Montana State looking to do the same. Jonathan Hallstrom at the point goes cross ice for Stone King. Stone King going to settle it down for a moment. Puck finds its way to Madigan. Hallstrom from the point. Great save by Wallery. Jake Parent trying to get the puck out for the Bobcats.
I think the Bobcats are starting to respect the puck movement of the Tommies a little bit more. You see them starting to sit back, clog up the middle a little bit more.
I think so, but you got, and I know you're on the kill. St. Thomas is all over you, but you got to great little play there using the bumper. Luke Morissette just couldn't get one. St. Thomas clears it on themselves. The Bobcats had possession of it twice there. Whether that's an individual play or someone gets open, that puck's got to be out. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially on the penalty kill, you don't risk an icing. Why not just fire that as hard as you can?
Yeah, right. That
shoot it through a guy if you need to.
Yeah, that puck's got to be out. St. Thomas back at it though on the power play. Stone King from the corner.
Watch out for this bumper play that the Tommies are running. That's how they got their first goal.
Yep. Stoffel low to high to Stone King. Stone King goes across to Tartan. Stone King fires it from the point. Great block by Clem. Puck's going to get sent down for the Bobcats. Minute 20 here left on the 4-minute power play for St. Thomas. Not quite the same. It looks like Montana State kind of found a little bit of an answer for that power play, taking away the passing lanes, particularly cross ice.
They're making the Tommies work for it. Granted, it only takes one opportunity, and they'll make it pay.
Yep. St. Thomas gets the power play set up. Little miscommunication there, though. Puck gets sent down. 1 minute left on the power play. Tartan back to collect for the Tommies. Very aggressive forecheck by Ellingson on the kill.
Don't often see guys going behind the net on the penalty kill.
Nope. Tartan's going to throw it at the net. Puck's going to find its way out of play. Have a face-off.
A young lady from Shawinigan comes up with that.
Here's a souvenir for a lucky fan. Oh, my gosh. Young lady from Shawinigan. I love it.
Montana State doing a good job so far.
They are
3
doing a very,
minutes
very
and
good
17
job.
seconds into this kill.
St. Thomas still in that dangerous power play. Luke Morissette wins it back to Hallstrom. Hallstrom trying to set up this St. Thomas power play. Goes across for Stone King. Stone King finds Madigan backdoor. Oh, great save. Luke Morissette trying to dig that one free. Great save by Wallery.
If you're the Tommies, I like that they're starting to press the issue a little bit harder towards the end of this power play because, while a power play can get you a goal, on the flip side, if you don't get anything going and Montana State gets a big 4-minute kill out of this, they're going to have a ton of energy.
Yep. Gets the boys going. We're about 12 minutes into the second period. Still 1-0 St. Thomas. Down to the last 30 seconds or so on the power play. Anthony Madigan cycles it back for Luke Morissette. Looked like he was faking the Michigan there.
And it's not as uncommon in
ACHA
as it once was.
Oh, my gosh. Hallstrom with a great look over to Zach Simon. Little pull of the jersey there by Parent.
They're going to let him play.
Bobcats still not able to clear. Last few seconds for the power play.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Play gets covered up by Wallery. Yeah, but like just one pass. D to D, backside to Madigan.
Right.
Madigan gets a dangerous opportunity.
There were a number of opportunities there. We saw it a little bit throughout that power play. Just miscommunications, pucks getting fumbled. It's not as clean as it was looking yesterday.
Yep. But I'm excited for this 5-on-5. Montana State started the second period, playing a lot in the Tommies end. Puck gets thrown towards the net. It gets blocked out front. Bobcats back the other way. Farina throws it all the way down. Rosenlund leaves it for a defenseman, but Montana State, very aggressive forecheck there. Great little play by number 10, Ryan Madigan. Gino Gotti with the puck, throws it up top. Puck is going to get blocked out front. Have bodies flying everywhere right now. It's going to find its way to Farina. Farina tries to go cross ice.
See if Gotti can't do something here with Grandma watching, huh?
Yeah,
right,
no kidding. He, when we played them last, the Gophers, we were saying Gino Gotti's name all,
Yep.
every shift. He was, flying around out there making his presence felt.
Well, and you know what? Pick a guy on St. Thomas, and you can say that about anyone about
Yeah,
any given game,
that's
right?
fair.
So
that's fair.
But yeah, to your point, Gotti's all over the place.
Yep. And someone that we called yesterday, Dylan Lewis, been a little bit quiet today. Obviously got the penalty here at the start of the second period, but little quieter from him. I feel like it's been a little more skilled today. Things are kind of calmed down. Everyone's not playing so emotional.
It's tough to turn around, less than 12 hours later after such a highly emotional, high-paced, high-energy game and come out and match it again.
Yeah, right. No, I completely understand. Oh, Jep. Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you for tuning in. I got one of my buddies from one of my buddies I met through Max Bowl watching the game today. So
that's awesome.
Hey, appreciate you tuning in there, Jep.
Hey,
hope you're enjoying your Saturday morning with some ACHA hockey. St. Thomas trying to break the puck out, though. Bobcats giving them a little bit of problems. Puck's going to find its way out to center. Play's going to be whistled offsides. Loresi's going to win the foot race. Loresi trying to get this puck low.
Just not very clean from the Tommies.
Not quite. Not quite the same as yesterday. I would like to see Neal steps up there, takes the body, but the positioning of the forward, having that puck, on his forehand, play the puck. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous opportunity for the Tommies. Storm gets weathered by the Bobcats. Bobcats on the breakout. Oh, opportunity in the middle. Wonderful play by Jonathan Hallstrom to break that up. There he is, dangerous number 4 for the Bobcats, Dave Weaver was saying.
Yeah, that's a perfect example in that play, Johnny, where they had a 3-on-2 developing, but they got hemmed in their own zone for a second there and didn't have the legs to create.
Yeah, and honestly, I've seen the Bobcats do it a couple times. Puck's in transition, and they will change as that puck's entering their zone. I would honestly like to see Loresi just continue with that play.
Right.
Take the 3-on-2. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting very many opportunities off the rush, so holy shoot, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Good save.
Dylan Lewis on the forecheck. Oh, dangerous puck gets sent back door. Oh, my gosh. Stoffel just sends it wide. What an opportunity by the Tommies.
That's 3 or 4 open nets that have been missed now.
I know. Stoffel looking to regroup for the Tommies. Finds a man in the middle. Jed England hands it off for Dylan Lewis. Play is going to be whistled offsides. Yeah, few just dangerous, centered pucks by the Tommies. Really, that cross ice look is what they're looking for, right across the crease. And they've had, a handful of opportunities this period. 5-on-5 too.
Well, yeah, and all of a sudden, if you take a look, Tommies have even the shots
Yep.
since 2020.
Yep. I mean, that 4-minute power play definitely helped them. But play's been a little more back and forth here since the opening couple minutes. Brownell's going to cross the blue line. He's going to get taken out. Montana State trying to gain possession, but Madigan's going to break it out. He goes cross ice for Zach Simon. Zach Simon enters the Bobcat zone. Great play by Cherpesky. St. Thomas going to gain possession of the puck, though. Stone King from the point throws it on net. Fairly easy save for Wallery.
No traffic.
Stone King going to try and center it. Dangerous puck there. Oh, my gosh. Madigan even got that puck to the net.
Tommy's starting to come alive here.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, my gosh. Wallery didn't see that one for a second. He was fighting to get a view of that with Madigan out front. Bobcats desperately trying to break the puck out here. Ellingson collects for the Bobcats. Goes cross ice. Play is going to get thrown down into the Tommies end. Torin Dobchuk. Oh, my gosh. Players behind the net just getting thrown around right now.
That's the type of game the Bobcats got to play, right? If you're gonna battle down low, win pucks, and create turnovers, that's how you're gonna do it.
Madigan at center ice couldn't collect. Weston S on the regroup for the Bobcats. Neal throws it forward. Irick trying to get the puck deep, but Tommy's with a turnover at neutral zone. Stone King gonna flip it down onto the net. Wallery's gonna wisely cover up. We got 3 minutes here left in the second period. No goals this period. St. Thomas with a 4-minute power play couldn't get anything to go. Been pretty back and forth here the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, although I'd like to see. I think Montana State's maybe had 2 shots over the last 11, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The game's starting to trend in the wrong direction for them.
Yep, I agree. Ben Tartan at the point for the Tommies. Throws it off the back wall. Looking for Morissette, who collects behind the net. Morissette throws it towards the net. Bobcats gain possession in their zone. Weston S finds his winger. St. Thomas going to throw it back in the other end. Irick tries to collect for the Bobcats. Morgan Spetz hands it off for Luke Morissette. Crosses the red line. He's going to get the puck deep. Great little play there by Ines. He's going to throw it back up to the neutral zone. A little more back and forth so far.
Yeah, a lot of neutral zone play. I think both teams are starting to recognize that their breakouts aren't necessarily the cleanest, as we're going to have a is that a penalty or a hand pass?
No, that was offsides call, delayed offsides. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of neutral zone play, though.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And both teams aren't getting those clean breakouts. Montana State was finding success in the first period, going high off the glass, letting their, fast forwards kind of swing through, win foot races, and they were getting odd man rushes, and they got away from that this period. And they're trying to play St. Thomas straight up, and sometimes that just can't happen, just too fast, too good, too structured. Bobcats, though, going to gain possession in their own zone. Come flying through the neutral zone. Hallstrom gloves the puck back to center. Owen Davis fires this in for the Bobcats. Rosenlund leaves it for Hallstrom, who goes across to Wente.
Good patience.
Yep, great patience. Wente finds a winger, but Bobcat's going to force a turnover here. Owen Davis goes cross ice for Laressi. Big hit there by Owen Davis. Big hit there by Owen Davis. That was awesome.
Nice of those guys to separate,
you gotta love a just a clean open ice one-on-one hit.
And Davis spending a couple minutes in the box yesterday. Wisely steps away from that.
Yep. Got to
need him on the ice.
Got to imagine Dave Weaver was like, "Hey, you're too important for us."
Right.
Closing minute here, the second period. Play's been a little more back and forth. Still 1-0 St. Thomas. Gonna have a scrum in the corner, trying to dig it out. Clem digs it out for the Bobcats, throws it towards the net, goes high and wide. I've also seen, a couple handfuls of just missed nets by the Bobcats. And I get it, you're trying to, beat the goalie, but it's all for naught if you can't get that on net.
Right.
Great defensive play there by number 3 Fisher for the Bobcats. Torin Dobchuk on the regroup, tries to find England.
We always talk about you don't always have to shoot to score.
Exactly, and they were finding success on the rebounds. They were this period. Yesterday they were. Nice play by Jorgensen to pull up there.
Yep.
Saw number 22 on the Tommies. Bobcats back the other way, though. Jorgensen tries to hand it off for Parent. Closing seconds here, the second period. Parent, little bad angle shot there. Fisher steps up for the Bobcats. Puck's going to find its way to the far side. Brownell throws it towards the net. Fairly easy save for Rosenlund. That's going to bring us to the closing seconds of the second period. Still 1-0 St. Thomas on the Hallstrom goal and the power play in the first. Andrew Krug, what did we see that period?
I think the penalty really killed Montana State. It forced them away from their game that they were finding a lot of success with in the first period, just moving the puck up quickly, creating bounces, and playing a more controlled, chaotic game. So yeah, like it's tough when you're killing 4 minutes worth of a penalty, especially against the St. Thomas team. Can definitely throw you off your game. Montana State finished with looks like 8 shots that period to the Tommies 12. So again, back and forth, but I think there was a good 10-minute stretch in the middle of that period there where there wasn't much going on for the Bobcats.
Tommy's just, just all over him. Obviously, to your point, that power play helped out tremendously getting the Tommies going. But I think if you're the Bobcats, it's kind of been the same,
Right. I mean, 1-0 game going into the third. What do we have yesterday?
I feel like their forechecks a little bit better today. They're kind of stymieing the Tommies on the breakout. But again, like if you're not getting any opportunities from it, you're not getting any really dangerous scoring chances. You know what I'm saying? Then is it really working?
Right. And there's a little bit of solace to be taken for Coach Weaver here, understanding that, hey, this is the exact same position we were in yesterday. What happened yesterday that we're going to avoid?
Yep.
A goal 10 seconds into the third.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep. And it was by, number 3, Dylan Lewis, who made his impact felt yesterday. So yeah, I think if you're the Tommies, keep doing what you're doing, maybe a little bit cleaner on the breakouts, but their transition game, their regrouping has been just phenomenal. Their creativity, they're getting opportunities backdoor. It starts in your own zone. They had a few wide open nets. If you're Montana State, you got 20 more minutes here, maybe some extra time, we don't know.
Right.
But you got to be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to go backdoor, get someone in the lane. Even we for the Gophers last year when we used to play them, we would just I would on the kill. I'd just sit backdoor. I'm like, listen,
because there's going to be a guy
I'm like,
there.
listen, if they're going to score, it's going to be with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what? Let them, play with the puck up top, outside, and throw the puck at the net. Get the guy backdoor. Get the guy in front of the net.
Yep.
And if you're Montana, like we were saying, if you're Montana State, you got to get something going here offensively. They had a few more opportunities. But again, we were talking about at that period, they were getting opportunities off the rush in the first. They were, not trying to, outskill St. Thomas. They were just getting pucks high off the glass, winning foot races. Get back to that game. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to possess the puck necessarily, all the way from your own zone to their zone.
Yeah, we talked about as well the adjustment that St. Thomas made that I think kind of affected that, and Coach Ben Shoden probably saw that first period and thought, you know what, we got to play a little bit more of a responsible game.
Yep.
We can't be giving up the odd man rushes. We can't be giving up bad turnovers through the middle trying to make the perfect play in the D zone. And mostly they did that. It still wasn't incredibly clean, but at the same time they weren't giving the Bobcats a whole bunch of momentum, and it forced the Bobcats to try to force the issue for themselves.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to overextend and make plays happen that aren't necessarily there against a team like St. Thomas, they'll make you pay.
Yeah, and there's something to be said. Tommies don't have another game this weekend.
Right.
The Bobcats do, and they're going to try and leave it all out, try and split this series with St. Thomas. But I mean, you got to be thinking that, oh man, we got to come back tomorrow and do this all again at 9 a.m. Where the Tommies are done. They can leave it all out here this period. They got 20 more minutes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited for these 20 minutes. We got an interview with Montana State's head coach, Dave Weaver, that we're going to bring you guys right now. Media specialist. Hi, this is John with JP Showcase. I'm here with Dave Weaver, head coach of the Montana State Bobcats. Dave, you guys traveled out here. You guys traveled today, I'd assume. You're coming yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, you're coming in here playing St. Thomas for the first time, Western versus Central matchup. What are you expecting in these two games this weekend?
I think it's always good for us to get out of the region. We try to do one flight a year and go out and play Central teams or East Coast teams, and this seemed like a logical fit. Both teams are pretty good in their region, and both were at nationals last year, and contacted the coach last year, and it was worked out, so we're happy to be here.
Wonderful. I'm super excited for this game tonight. I was looking at your guys' season thus far, 12, 13 games, undefeated. I know there was the one blemish and a shootout. I was also seeing you guys have about 5 shutouts on the season. Can you speak to your goalie a little bit? I'm not sure who the netminder is.
Sure. Our goalie's Jorgen Johnson. He was a first-team All-American last year for the country, so he's a good one.
Sure.
He's an older player. He's in his last year, and he really is ultra-focused to come in and do well this year.
Yeah.
The other goalie, I'd call him a 1B, is very good as well, and he'll get the game tomorrow. So you'll see both goalies, but it's really they're good, and it's also good team defense and making sure that we take care of the front of the net for them.
Sure. Matching up against St. Thomas, this first time, you guys have never played them before. What was kind of the talk going into this weekend? Any systems, anything to kind of counteract some of that? Yeah,
we know they're going to be very skilled and very fast, and we're a fast team as well. I think we've got to play physical, and we've got to do the old not to do whatever, but we got to keep pucks in deep and make them come 200 feet. We have to make this team come 200 feet.
Okay, wonderful.
Not to give you the cliche
No, I
about.
love it. No, that's perfect. Pucks in deep, pucks on net. So awesome. Hey, Dave, thank you so much for your time today. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I appreciate it.
I could
Awesome little insight into the Montana State coaching staff and team. And both teams obviously, playing very similar styles. It's very back and forth. We got a 1-0 game here to start the third period. But saying a lot of the stuff we're saying up here, establish that forecheck, create turnovers. I love talking to Dave, yesterday and before today's game, just not overly concerned. He understands that this is a series that, he's playing the long game.
Right.
This is how you stack up against the rest of the country. He understands that. He understands he's got a young team. And, he's just happy with the level of compete out of the Bobcats.
Right. At the same time, too, you got a 1-0 game going into the third period.
Yep.
Right? So say whatever you want to say about what happened yesterday, but for everybody that just watched that interview, I have to imagine the locker room probably sounds very much like that right now.
Yep.
I think the Bobcats kind of got away from getting that puck in deep and establishing a really chaotic forecheck.
Yep.
I imagine the players are probably hearing that message right now.
Yeah. Yep. We also have an interview with assistant coach for the Montana State Bobcats, Jonas Lundquist, 23-year-old college student. He's from the Twin Cities, finds his way out to MSU and on the coaching staff. So awesome interview coming at you with Jonas. Hi, I'm John with JP Showcase. I'm here with Jonas Lundquist of the Montana State Bobcats. Jonas, you traveled in here last night. You guys are playing St. Thomas. You've never played him before. What's the plan to contend with someone like St. Thomas?
Just get pucks deep, short shifts, go through them, pucks on net, bodies in front of net, simple stuff.
Yeah, no, keep the game super simple. You said that you used to play, you got hurt in high school. What kind of game did you bring to the table back in the day?
I'd get to the red, put pucks in deep, get off, let the next guy do his job.
Perfect. Nice, easy game, very coachable. You said that you're still in school while you're assistant coach for the Bobcats. What's the plan after?
Just pucks in deep, bodies in front of the net, stay on sides, quick shifts.
Awesome. You heard it here first, folks. Thanks so much for your time, Jonas.
So, Johnny, if you had to guess what he's saying to his boys in the locker room right now, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, I mean, you're down to the last 20 minutes of this series. My guess is, starts with the captains. He's probably talking to those guys like, hey, pucks need to be across the red line, pucks in deep, pucks on that quick shifts.
Get bodies in front.
Bodies in front.
Get off the ice, leave it to the next guy.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, a little, but all jokes aside, that is the game that the Bobcats play. You know what I'm saying?
It
like
is.
they're and we weren't sure who the Bobcats were when they showed up, obviously. I hadn't watched a lick of their games. I hadn't seen anything. Obviously, I know that they, number one in the West last year, but they do play a very grinder style. You know what I'm saying?
And so Coach Weaver was talking about that a little bit before the game, right? St. Thomas, you've got a lot of Minnesota kids, a lot of kids that have played the same style growing up. A very skilled, flow-based game, right?
Yep.
And they're taught how to play moving the puck from 3, 4, 5 years old. Right? It feels like. Whereas this Bobcat team, they've got guys from all over. They've got guys from some Canadian juniors, from some juniors here in the States, from high schools. It's hard to bring a team like that together, especially early in a season and with all the young players that they do have.
Yeah. And like you said, Dave Weaver mentioned it, playing against, obviously it's the state of hockey for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kids grow up and they're playing in these systems, these skill-based systems, hard-nosed hockey, from the time that they're peewees, squirts.
I think that's why you're seeing Davis have a lot of success here, right?
Yeah.
Owen Davis is, again, he Edina kid.
Yep.
He knows how to play against the style. He knows how to defend. And as long as he can kind of stay out of the dirty stuff, I guess, not saying that he's dirty,
of course.
he's not,
Yep.
but, stuff that ends up putting him in the box, like he needs to be on the ice a lot.
Yeah.
He's been super successful in making sure that the Bobcats can keep that play moving north and play a responsible game in his own end, and breaking up the Tommies plays because he's seen these type of forwards before.
Yeah, he's done a very, very good job today. I know you said yesterday you noticed, but his defensive, structure, individual efforts, shutting down that St. Thomas rush and that St. Thomas transition, he's done he's done an unbelievable job doing that. If you're St. Thomas, I think for the next 20 minutes, you come out and you play physical. I think number 3, if number 3 starts this period, I think you let him go. You take the reins off and you let him go run a defenseman through the end wall. Clean, obviously. Me and Jimmy always talk about clean. Don't want anyone getting hurt.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you got nothing else to lose. Frickin' wear these teams down, wear them down. Yeah,
and so that's the one thing that I think St. Thomas has been missing this game.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of physicality. Assistant coach, sorry, I missed his name.
Jonas Lundqvist.
Jonas. He was mentioning, like, he would just go through guys. He wants his guys to go through guys.
Yeah.
We saw that from St. Thomas yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, especially in that third period, they came out and they were burying people.
Yeah. And it knocked Montana State off their game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
2-goal third period for the Tommies. I feel like they dominated a lot of the play in the third period last night. So, if I'm Coach Ben Shoden, that's what I'm preaching to the guys.
Yeah. I say, if I'm Ben Shoden, I'm starting number 3, and I'm going to say, hey, puck's not even on the ice. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go around and cleanly. We don't need to give them a power play, but go around and just start burying kids.
Well, and to your earlier point,
Jonas, we played that interview.
No, to your earlier point too. St. Thomas doesn't have another game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about a team that can leave it all out there now, that doesn't have to consider coming back 24 hours from now and playing another team that has national championship aspirations, that's going to be St. Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. So Krug, I want to get your 2 cents, and we'll probably talk more about this after the entirety of the game. Third period coming at you here very shortly, but being on the coaching staff for the Gophers, you obviously got to play Montana State tomorrow. without giving away your game plan, any little tidbits of like, hey, these are things that we need to focus on playing the Bobcats?
Well, I mean, take the blueprint for how the Tommies played the third period yesterday.
Yep.
Right? They came out flying, not just, like playing that flow game and moving the puck well, but also getting in on the forecheck, playing the body, and really threw Montana State off their game. They got Montana State into a style of game last night in the third period where it was just back and forth chaos, and when it comes to those loose pucks and the bounces that they take, Tommies have all the skill in the world to be able to capitalize it.
Yep.
I think we're a very similar team in that sense.
Yep.
Where if we can create chaos, we have a skill to be able to capitalize on some of those bounces.
Yep. I completely agree. It having covered a lot of the Gopher games this year, helping out with the coaching staff, it something that we're very fast, we're a very skilled hockey team, but that physicality is going to be something that we're going to have to bump up coming playing the Bobcats tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be something that we're going to have to say, hey, like, this is going to be a strategic move in the game, is playing physical.
And so we talk about captains, right? We talk about Dylan Lewis, number 3 out here for the Tommies, and how just being a spark plug. If you're looking for a guy to get physical and get the guys going, get the rest of the team on board with that energy, it's going to be him. We've got guys similar on our team. Hank Lawrence. I don't think you were not up at Jamestown, were you?
No.
So I mean, oh my gosh.
I did see that hit though.
Hank. Oh my.
Oh, Hanker.
I think it's the biggest hit I've seen.
Hanker, I'm sorry, dude. If you are watching this, it looked like you ran into a wall.
I mean, he did. The guy was a wall.
Yeah.
But to that point though, we were kind of slow at that point.
Yeah.
We were kind of dead on the bench. It was the second game of a game that we had just won 11-3.
Yeah.
And we were playing in a 1-goal game, and he set that tone. So that's what I'm looking out of a captain. Here goes Dylan.
And
Lewis
here
again.
we go, number 3, 10 seconds into the period. Oh my gosh, I love it. Bobcats collect the puck in the Tommy's end, load a high play over to Fisher. Fisher across to Brownell. Brownell throws it on net. Easy save by Rosenlund.
Though that tip didn't miss by much.
No, it didn't. St. Thomas collects in their own zone. Defenseman looking to break the puck out. Great play by Clem to break up the breakout. Dobchuk headmans it. Dylan Lewis goes across the blue line. Dylan Lewis trying to do what he did yesterday, just get a puck to the net, but there he goes, just getting body on body. Brownell to collect for the Bobcats. Finds Speth up ice. Speth just couldn't corral it for a moment, but Clem, there's that second wave. Clem over the blue line, throws it towards the net. Puck goes wide. Jonathan Hallstrom corrals it for the Tommies.
Good play by
Hands it
Lewis.
off for Stoffel. Stoffel across the blue line. I was going to say that play was offsides for sure. I'm glad the referee caught that. It was,
Yeah. I think he, one guy I want to shout out for the Bobcats here, Brownell on defense.
Brownell.
He's had a couple instances where he's gotten up in the play and been that second wave of offense.
Yep.
They're going to need that.
Yep. They need to, get, 3-4 guys up into the rush,
Overwhelm the Tommies.
Yeah, they weren't doing a good job of that yesterday. A little bit better today. Anthony Madigan takes the puck for the Tommies behind the net, hands it off for Jonathan Hallstrom. Yeah, he's got some wheels. Zach Simon even had a little bit of time and space there in front of the net. Puck's going to find its way into the Bobcat bench. Play's going to be whistled. Yeah, he's got that line, all of them. You know what I'm saying?
And he just wheeled around the entire zone.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the puck is loose, and he's the first guy to it on the opposite of the ice.
Yeah. Kid just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Face off here in the neutral zone. Goes to St. Thomas. Madigan throws it behind the net. Oh my goodness, dangerous puck by Wallery. Zach Simon in the middle. Huge block by Ellingson. Morgan Spett's going to collect another huge block by Trepesky. Ellingson sells out for that loose puck. It's going to find its way to Tartan. A little turnover here by Trepesky. Looking for someone, goes low to high. Young from the point, throws it to the net, doesn't make its way there. Follow-up opportunity by Young. Great keep by Cherpesky. Cherpesky throws it to the net, loose puck. Oh my gosh. Opportunity there for the Bobcats to tie this one up.
And off of turnovers, right?
Off of turnovers, you know. Take away that, well, we were talking with Dave Weaver, take away that cross-ice pass. He highlighted number 20 specifically, who was doing a very good job of shutting down that cross-ice pass. Look what happens. Cherpesky picks that puck off inside the blue line, throws it to the net. Ellingson has a chance on the rebound.
And the thing there, too, is they had a guy parked in front of the net as well.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, and that puck got through. So face-off in the Tommies' end. Looks like it goes to the Bobcats. Speth behind the net. Puck gets cycled back for Speth, who tries to center it. No one's home. Clem, though, going to fight for that puck. It's going to pop out to the Tommies forward. Puck is going to find its way to Gino Gotti, who hands it off for his defenseman. St. Thomas across the blue line. Luke Morissette throws it towards the net. No one's home. Bobcats possibly with some numbers here. Speth looking for someone to give it to. It's going to end up down in the St. Thomas end. Clem cycles it back for Loressi, who can't handle it. Great little pinch there by Fisher. Loressi trying to make a move to the middle, gets taken out by the Tommies defender.
might have gotten away with one.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little hold or a hook, something. Fisher goes back up the wall. Clem finds Brownell across ice. Brownell makes a wonderful little move in the middle. Hands it off for Fisher, who comes across the line, throws it. Easy save by Rosenlund. See, it's like that play.
If you're the Bobcats there, like, why are you shooting high at the glove from the top of the circles with nobody else in the rush with you?
I'm going to be honest. I think that sometimes the drop pass is the dumbest play that we can make on a rush. But he had a guy trailing.
Yeah.
You take that puck wide, you drop it off, puck gets, to the middle of the ice where you have an actual dangerous opportunity. Instead, it's pitch and catch for Rosenlund.
And the difference you see with the Tommies is that if they have an opportunity like that, they're either trying to create time and space to allow their second wave of players to get in the zone, or they're shooting for a pad.
Yep, exactly. Puck's going to find its way to Parent, who throws it to the middle. See, dangerous tip there. It gets broken up by Wente, but, that's the play you're looking for,
right.
Instead of the easy pitch and catch with the goaltender. St. Thomas going to break the puck out. It looks like Hallstrom's going to ice it. Brownell's going to win the race. Bobcats going with a fresh line of forwards.
I've liked the Bobcats game to start this period.
Yep.
It's just the little things
Yep.
they got to clean up.
Yep.
So, we just highlighted that example of that shot off the rush that, maybe there's a better option there.
Exactly.
But, if you're going to beat the St. Thomas team, the little things are going to be the things that are going to win the game for you.
At some point, you're going to have a tough time grinding down St. Thomas with the speed and physicality that they bring. You're going to have to bring some skill yourself.
Right.
St. Thomas with a turnover here. Dylan Lewis with an opportunity. Oh, man. He had the far side. He just couldn't get a stick on it. Jed England throws it towards the net. Dylan Lewis out front. Corrals it for the Tommies. Look at that body positioning.
Lewis going to work down low.
Seriously, it's 2-on-1 right now. Still got possession of the puck on the boards.
Like clockwork.
Yep.
You got the C on. Dylan Lewis playing the body, comes out in the third period.
We're going to have a couple penalties here. It looks like it's Neal who finds his way in the lineup and Dylan Lewis. I don't know if we're going to have penalties, but maybe a stoppage in play.
So one little thing that I think the Bobcat player, I can't tell what number that is, was grabbing Lewis's face mask. That's usually an automatic ejection.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got clocked with one of those in one of our games early on this season. If you grab a player's face mask in the ACHA or NCAA, because we operate under the NCAA rules, it's an automatic ejection.
Okay. Well, the Bobcats may be fortunate to just get offsetting penalties here. Face-off in the neutral zone. It is still going to be 5-on-5. We're under the impression it should be 4-on-4. And I think that obviously favors Montana State. You can't, have that extra open ice with St. Thomas and some of their forwards.
Well, and look who you just took off the ice and put in the box.
Exactly.
It's Dylan Lewis.
Exactly.
Granted, he's bringing that energy.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you're Montana State, you want to keep him right there.
Yep. Montana State back to the forecheck. Almost creates a turnover. St. Thomas looking to break the puck out. Puck finds its way to Madigan. Goes cross ice for Austin Stone King. Stone King comes across the blue line, hands it off for Simon. Cycles it back down for Stone King.
I think they had Madigan trailing there on the
I
far
think
side.
they did too. Like we said, they do a very good job of that third guy off the rush or in zone, keeping that guy high and utilizing him off for offensive reasons. Play's going to be whistled off sides, it looks like.
I think Trapesky just took a stick up high.
Did he?
Yeah. I heard it and I saw him doubled over after the fact. So again,
You know, it's not just the long hair, but number 20, that kid's a gamer.
Oh,
that kid's an absolute gamer.
Well, so Coach Weaver called him a chameleon,
Yep,
right?
yep.
When we were talking before the game, he can play with anybody, anywhere in the lineup, in any role.
Yep, I
And
love it.
A player like that is indisposable.
Yep. Clem across the blue line might have a step here. Clem pulls up at the half wall, trying to send it cross ice. Play gets broken up by the Tommies. Zach Simon sends it out to the neutral zone. Play is going to be whistled off sides there, you know. There's that little, another half a second, get the
Right.
play on side. I will say the Bobcats are doing a good job on the rush and I know that I just spoke to how dumb sometimes I think it is, but they have a trailer right behind the puck carrier.
Right.
I want to see that trailer come towards the middle, drop it back, get a shot from the high slot instead of outside near the top of the circle. You know?
So at this point, the Tommies are expecting a shot or the puck moving forward every
Yes.
single time. If you can drop that puck back in a way where
big
wow.
hit.
It'll-
Luke Morissette goes down hard. I hope he's okay. All right, he gets up pretty quickly. Oh, man, that was a dangerous little catch of the edge. Oh, man, Morissette went down hard.
Yeah, that did not look like it was fun.
I'm very glad that he got up quickly.
Those are dangerous plays.
Yep.
I mean, we've
Yep.
got, our captain recovering from a hard fall into the boards.
Exactly.
Right now, so.
Our cap, broken femur. Henry Lawrence last year did the same thing and broke his vertebrae.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff happens when you're moving at the pace that these guys are.
Yeah, you're moving 20 miles an hour. Those boards aren't soft.
They aren't soft. No. Face off in the neutral zone after the net gets dislodged. Brownell for the Bobcats takes over the blue line. Makes a man miss momentarily. Bobcats are going to go on the power play. That absolutely is power play. Yeah.
Tommy's earned that one.
Gino Gotti got him right up in the jibs.
To your point, though, well, what we spoke about earlier, Brownell jumped in, up on the play, made a nice move at the blue, forced the Tommies to jump at him and defend, and unfortunate that he caught an edge, and Tommies went straight into his face there.
Or almost fortunate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bobcats to the power play, trying to tie this game up. We got just about 14 minutes left in the third period. Faceoff's going to be won back to Ines. Ines going to quickly throw it on net.
That's where I want to see the shots coming from.
Yep, exactly.
Right up top, it's a perfect angle, dead on the goalie to be able to get tips, get screens. You can crash your rebounds there. If you're trying to move it to the sides and take shots from there, you cut down the angle a lot. So if you're missing the net, it's a breakout for the other guys.
Yep. Bobcats gain possession of the puck back on the power play. Ines goes cross ice for Young. Young goes backdoor. Oh, my gosh, that was the play they were looking for right there. Puck's going to get sent all the way down by the Tommies. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Ines just gets that puck out the face-off, 5 seconds, boom, 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 puck gets to the net. You just need a guy parked in front, not off to the side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Goalie's just going to swallow that up, 9 out of 10
Yeah,
times.
if Rosenlund can see it, he'll make the save.
Speth with an opportunity here. Bobcats set up the power play again. Laressi comes up the half wall, hands it off for Ines, who throws it at the net. Little loose puck there. Maybe the Bobcats get away with a hold there, but Ines goes across ice to Young. Young throws it to the net. Huge block by number 14, Dobchuk.
He's feeling that.
Wes Ines is going to regroup the puck for the Bobcats. Play's going to be whistled offsides.
I think he might have.
Oh man, that little pass. I know it was just off of his stick, but Ines taking that puck out to the neutral zone just killed it.
Everything,
it was like
right?
you had
you were
great
starting to feel
block,
it.
great block by Dobchuk, but you get the power play set up. Dobchuk's kind of hobbling around after that block, so it's 5 on 3.5. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's where the damage was.
And more so than that, too, if you're thinking about this Bobcat bench, right? Like, they're starting to feel the energy from this power play that's starting to find a little bit of success. And all of a sudden, in an instant, it's killed.
Yeah, right.
That's tough to come back from.
Brownell with an opportunity goes high off the glass. See, that's one you gotta get it on the 4x6.
Yep. Sometimes you don't have to shoot to
But
score.
that was a great little play by Irick to send that across. Felt trying to regroup the puck for the Bobcats. It's going to find its way over to Brownell. Brownell across the blue line, hands it off for Farina. Farina from a bad angle shot. Brownell across to Irick. Irick with a little fancy footwork at the blue line. Sutton throws it towards the net, goes just wide.
There was room there.
There was. Play's going to go back to 5-on-5. Sutton, huge block by Parker Wente on the Tommies. Puck's going to find its way to the neutral zone. Anthony Madigan gets taken out at the blue line. Irick sends it forward for Sutton. Couldn't connect. Tommy's dangerous transition game. Oh my goodness, player loses his footing. Luckily, didn't have a bad turnover there. That could have been tough.
Good recovery, but hey, that's kind of one of the bounces that Bobcats need right now.
Madigan goes cross ice looking for Simon. Puck finds its way behind the Bobcats net. Here he is. Owen Davis collects for the Bobcats, takes it up through the neutral zone, sends it in deep behind the Tommies net. Morgan Spetz collects for the Tommies. Oh, wow. 24 looking for someone to pay the price. Owen Davis throws it towards the net. Great glove save by Rosenlund.
Yeah, we talked in the intermission, like if there's going to be one team that should come out theoretically and play with nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be the Tommies. They don't have anything to play for tomorrow. This is their last game of the weekend. I feel like it's been the opposite.
Yep. Montana State, not looking to come all the way to Minnesota and get swept by the Tommies.
Right.
Terry Tortolot tuning in. How will the Gophers match up with Montana? Watching from Madison. Love that you're watching this game on this Saturday morning. I think that it's going to be a really good game tomorrow morning. Montana State has speed. Obviously, the Gophers are a very fast, very skilled hockey team. I think that the Gophers are going to need to match physicality with the Montana State Bobcats. All weekend this has been super physical by the Bobcats and the Tommies. And so the Gophers are going to need to either beat them with speed, but the Bobcats have speed. You know what I'm saying? They have a good transition game. They're very structured. It'll be an awesome matchup. I'm so excited.
Well, and if you look at the blueprint for some of these top teams in the WCCHA, like the Wisconsins, the Minnesota Crookstons, the St. Thomas, and the Gophers, it's all very similar. Right? Very high-paced, skilled game. The differentiator is the physicality. Yep,
physicality and, a couple bounces here and there. I think if you are the Gophers, what are you doing offensively to kind of drive that offensive spark?
Yeah, we have a couple of systems that we'll play on the forecheck. I
think they're going to let them play.
Yeah, a couple different systems we play on.
Huge hit. Tommy's forward number 19,
Fisher,
Ethan Bernier. Oh, wow. He got taken out.
Going back to that point, though, we have a couple of different systems that we'll play where if we wanted to try and pick up the physicality, we'll send more guys, right?
Yep.
We'll get our guys skating and really get them engaged in the forecheck so that they feel like they have to get in there quick and make an impact. So we'll make a decision as the game is going on.
Well, and I think the conversation, for the defensemen on the Gophers is going to be, hey, they're going to come at you hard and heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're going to send two guys. They're going to try and run you through the wall. You got to be prepared for that. But you also got to understand that you need to make, it's just one pass.
Yep.
One pass beats that forecheck.
Every time.
And boom, you get that other defenseman up in the play. And now you got, 4-on-2s, 4-on-3s off the rush. You just really got to be wary of that forecheck. Montana State doesn't quite look like they're, an off-the-rush kind of team.
Right.
So just be aware that forecheck, spend some time in your own zone.
And back to this game, I think the Tommies are giving us a good example of it. They're not trying to overplay the puck between their defensemen.
Yep.
Going back and forth D to D too many times.
Yep.
It's usually one pass and up.
Yep, one pass and up. Get the puck north and south. Wonderful little play there by Loressi. Loressi throws it on net.
Glove
Easy
still
pitch
works.
And catch. Yep, glove still works. No hole in it.
Nope.
There should be a hole in it.
I
With how many times they've just, here you go. Oh, my gosh. Sarah Brownell, number 8 on the Bobcats. Yes, Brownell, we've called his name a few times. He's looked, unbelievable. I know he's a top 2 defenseman for the Bobcats. A huge pillar for the Bobcats team, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah, Brownell. I was looking beforehand. He's listed as a forward on the roster on the ACHA. I think everybody's listed as a forward, but I think he might be their top scoring defenseman.
Okay. I mean,
12 points in 13
I
games
would believe it. He's done a really good job of jumping up in the play as well as driving offense from the back end when he gets the puck in the neutral zone. So him and that I think his defensive partner Fisher, at least they were yesterday. Those are 2 big boys on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Those are 2 big boys.
With skill too.
Yeah, with skill. Absolutely. But St. Thomas back to work only for a second. Play gets broken up by Irick. Takes it through the neutral zone. Kind of loses his footing there for a second. Bobcats going to get the puck deep on the Tommies.
Something to watch out for. Bobcats have limited the Tommies to only 2 shots so far this period.
Yeah. There's still 7 minutes just about in this third period. Bobcats, trying after the game yesterday desperately to tie this one up, get something on the score sheet, Tommies, though, breaking the puck out. Puck finds its way over to Stone King. Comes to the neutral zone. He's looking for an outlet. Great little step there by Neal.
Cats are playing.
Neal gives it up for Cherpesky. Great step there by the Tommies defenseman. Torin Dobchuk finds Dylan Lewis far side. Lewis is going to pull up, but a great step by Neal again. Tommies go cross ice. Wesson S steps up for the Bobcats.
Ooh, watch out.
Ooh. Cherpesky took the, worst part of that hit, but makes a great play doing it.
Well, and he'll just keep going.
He'll just keep going. That kid's a nail gun. Bobcats come through the neutral zone, and Ness connects with Shepherdson in the Tommies end. Tommy's looking to regroup, break the puck out. Jonathan Hallstrom's going to flip it out to center. Fisher's going to try and fire that in. Here's Cherpesky off the rush. Cherpesky's going to throw it on net. Fairly easy save.
It's a good shot, but you got to be there with you.
It was. Everyone's changing. Hallstrom trying to press the issue. Hallstrom takes a huge hit by Mundell. Nice to see both players get up, but that was a big hit by 27 on the Bobcats.
Hey, Mundell, we mentioned his name already once or twice today, but he's making his presence known. Like you said, I'm not sure if he was the extra forward or what yesterday.
Yeah,
he's taking his opportunity right now.
Brownell from the point throws it on net. Oh, dangerous tip there by Parent. Oh my gosh, Bobcats almost had one there. Great save by Rosenlund. Stoffel's going to find a little time and space in the middle. Great back check by Parent. We were talking to Dave Weaver about 13's 200-foot game, and you see it right there with an awesome back check. Opportunity on one end, great back check on in his own zone. Well, icing's going to be waved off. Morgan Spetz is going to press the issue for the Tommies.
If you're Tommy's defenseman, do you really want to be the one leading the rush to beat out an icing with 4 minutes left in a one-goal game?
I'm not sure.
He could, if there's one guy to do it, it's Morgan Spetz.
It's Spetz because he's just got wheels. Yep. But I would, I'd say not. You got 4:30 left here in the third period, 1-goal game. Trying to shut out the Bobcats, who are, at least in the West, they're an offensive juggernaut. You know what I'm saying?
We mentioned it yesterday. 83 goals in their first 15 games.
Yeah, that's no joke right there. So, huge defensive weekend for the Tommies. Anthony Madigan trying to press the issue. Young's going to take him out. Play's going to get covered up by Wallery. Yeah, I think if you're the Bobcats, I know you got a game tomorrow, but you got to pull out all the stops here. Right. Start flying a guy far side, flip pucks over everyone's head.
Well, and the thing is too, as you're trying to use this game as a measuring stick for potentially getting to the end of the year in nationals, if you come out of this weekend against the Tommies, specifically these 2 games, and you don't get a goal out of it, what does that do to the room?
Exactly. What does that say? And. Yeah, right? What did that measuring stick say?
And to that point, it's not like it's not a close game, right?
No, of course. It's back and forth. You're getting opportunities,
right.
But
where's the finish?
But, nearly 120 minutes into this weekend, and you're left scoreless.
Right.
How does that feel?
And then, besides today, what does that make you feel going into tomorrow? Do you come out, like a bat out of hell, or are you coming out kind of starting to doubt what you've done so far this season?
Yeah, I think the talk has got to be a little, I know that they're a grinder kind of team. They got 4 lines that'll punch you in the mouth and forecheck you hard, but like there's a level of skill that's kind of missing from the Bobcats, it seems, this weekend.
What do they say? All Swedish, no finish?
Yeah, all Swedish, no finish.
Although the Swedes play a very skill-based game.
They do.
I think
They do.
These
so.
Cats would dummy some Swedish teams, physically at least.
Yep. Great little play there by the Tommies, but Eirich's going to break that up. Going to try and go far side. Farina finds the puck, hands it off for Sutton, who throws it at the net. Big block by Dobchuk.
Now, the Cats didn't get an opportunity to pull their goalie last night with it being a 3-0 game. So let's see.
Oh, opportunity by forward 24, but oh my gosh, what an opportunity. Just couldn't corral the puck. That was it. That was the opportunity you were looking for.
And again, we talk about there's just that finishing touch.
Yeah, right? Puck's going to find its way into the Bobcats end. Brownell's going to break the puck out. Brownell goes cross ice for Ellingson. Great play there by Tommy's defenseman.
I'm going to expect we see a lot of Brownell, Fisher out for the rest of this game.
Yep, I'm guessing so. 2.5 minutes left. Hopefully that conditioning's paid off, fellas.
Yep.
Brownell's going to collect the puck in the neutral zone. He's going to come across the blue line.
What a heady play.
Yep, hands it off for forward, who throws it at the net. Oh, dangerous play there. Great clear by Morgan Spetz on the Tommies.
Wallery's still in the net with 2 minutes to go.
Play is going to be whistled for, I'm not entirely sure. I think the Bobcats are asking for an icing call. I don't believe they thought the forward made it to the red line. Play is going to be taken at center ice here.
I'm wondering if the puck might have hit somebody on the bench.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Brownell was calling for an icing on that play, but I'm not entirely sure.
But hey, a needed break for those guys, right? We said they're going to play a lot over these last 2 minutes. It gives Dave Weaver, he's taking his own time out
and
here.
He should.
An
I completely
opportunity
agree.
to draw something up. Get the right guys out on the ice and figure out how to break this very, very solid St. Thomas defense.
Yep. And, I think that if you're Dave Weaver, this face-off is huge. This face-off is massive. If you can, little set play, defense, wing, get the puck in deep, Wallery's got to get off the ice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't waste any time. If St. Thomas wins this draw, they burn, 15, 20, 30 seconds off the clock. Well, okay, that, you haven't had anything going offensively for 118 minutes. So why do you think you're going to have anything for the last 60 seconds?
Well, and then the second part of that is what happens if you do win the draw, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm sure Coach Weaver's telling his guys right now, and they'll probably have no problem doing so, but you got to outnumber the Tommies on the puck.
Yep.
You got to beat them to lose pucks.
Yep.
And if you're going to play with 6 guys out there, if there's a battle, you got to have at least 3, right?
Yep.
St. Thomas is a very skilled team. They'll start firing for the empty net if they get possession in their D zone.
Absolutely. Bobcats go out with their dangerous first line. St. Thomas going to get the puck in deep. Brownell goes around the boards to Speth, looking for someone in the middle. Play's going to be called an icing. That's the last thing you need if you're the Bobcats.
Right after a timeout.
Yeah, that's the last thing you need if you're the Bobcats. Luckily, that first line, you only spent 15 seconds or so out there, but you don't need an icing this late, when you need a goal right now. Face off in the Bobcats end. St. Thomas going to win the draw, finds its way to Hallstrom. Hallstrom throws it behind the net for the Tommies. Net got dislodged by Wallery. Have another stoppage in play.
And
what's up?
And while there is no momentum necessarily for the Bobcats right now, it's kind of good that they're getting these breaks, right?
Yeah.
Their first line that
can
they
stay
have
out
out there.
there.
Exactly. They're not getting tired.
I'd love to see a set play here if they win the draw, which they do not. St. Thomas wins the draw. Zach Simon has the puck in the corner. Simon takes it behind the net, sends it all the way down to the Tommies end. This is where the Bobcats got to get on that. Hopefully gain possession of the puck and get Wallery out of the net.
He's staying put for now.
Yep. St. Thomas trying to break the puck out. Bobcats all over him. Little turnover here. Puck gets thrown at the net. Huge block by Hallstrom. Oh my gosh, Zach Simon might win the race to this puck. Owen Davis going to beat it out. Oh my, Zach Simon though on the forecheck creates a turnover. Looking for someone in the middle. Brownell with an awesome defensive play. Just about the last minute here of the third period. Kind of running out of time if you're the Bobcats. You know?
You talked about it, Johnny. All this stemmed from losing the faceoffs.
Yep. You gotta. Faceoffs are massive. The higher level hockey you get, faceoffs become more and more important. They lost 3 in a row. Wallery gets out of the net. St. Thomas gains possession. Jet England throws it towards the cage. Montana State down to the last 40 seconds here, trying to press the issue, tie this game up late. Sutton comes across the red line, fires it in deep. Dobchuk back to collect for the Tommies. Yeah, I think if you're the Tommies, you just eat this on the boards, try and waste as much time as you can. Bobcats looking for a low to high play. Great step by Owen Davis. Luke Morissette's going to collect the puck and send it out of play. I don't think the Tommies are going to be allowed to change here. At least they shouldn't be. At least they shouldn't be.
They won't let them.
Nice call, Stripes. Good call.
I was just going to say Coach Shoden takes his time out here.
Okay, there you go. Now you can get some fresh legs on the ice, right?
Yep, yeah, you can change after a timeout
but
in the ACHA.
But to your point, obviously, we're kind of Cinderella's running out of, sand in the hourglass. But this face-off is huge. And who do you – I don't know a whole lot about, who their best face-off man is, but who do I want to be getting this puck? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's been – and I'd say Brownell.
Right.
Heavy shot from the point. I'd like to see Cherpesky on the inside just go straight to in front of the net. You know what I'm saying?
A couple of guys that we called their names a lot earlier in the game, specifically in the first period, is Dawson Speth and Hayden Clem, right?
Yeah.
I expect both of them to be out here, too.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bobcats can win this face-off back to their own point if they try and set up a play where they get one of those guys loose in the high slot.
Yep. We'll see what Coach Dave Weaver's got written up here for the Bobcats. St. Thomas still the lone goal by Hallstrom just about in the first 5 minutes of the first period. Otherwise, we've been scoreless the next 50. So
not without opportunity.
Not without opportunities, not without some hard hitting. Last 20 seconds here for the Bobcats, who do have the goalie pulled, trying desperately to tie this up. Ellingson on the draw for the Bobcats. Luke Morissette for the Tommies. Ellingson is going to win it back to Brownell. Brownell goes across. Shot's going to get blocked. Huge block. Brownell's going to desperately throw it towards the cage. Oh my gosh, puck's going to find its way to the middle. Puck's still loose. Last 5 seconds. Bobcats trying to tie this up. Huge save. Oh my gosh, Rosenlund stands tall. Last 3 seconds here. Those are some of the best opportunities they've had all game.
It's that chaotic style, right?
Desperation.
And you get 6 guys out there that play chaotic.
That definitely helps. But oh my gosh, they can't buy one this weekend. Like, They've had their fair share of opportunities, and they just can't buy one. It's crazy. Ellingson back to the draw. It's going to find its way to Lorescu.
What a save!
Throw it on net. What a stop by Rosenlund. I don't know, but what a game out of that kid.
Incredible.
St. Thomas is going to shut out the Bobcats for the second game in a row. On your lone goal by Jonathan Hallstrom. That dangerous St. Thomas power play, little give and go from the point. It's the only goal we had today. Montana State, we were talking about it at intermission. They got to come back and do this tomorrow. They have played 120 minutes of hockey and have yet to find the back of the net. Right. What's the feeling in the locker room? What do you got to change up? What's going on with the Bobcats?
And this is where I think the guys in the room are going to be leaned on to lead. So you could take this one of 2 ways, right? You play 120 minutes against a team that is likely going to nationals, and you don't score a goal. Granted, the games were close, but honestly, you take a look at this third period that the Bobcats just played. They limited the Tommies to 3 shots all period, and they put up 16 themselves, 17, if I'm doing my math correct. So there's something to take away from the game, but it's got to be on those leaders in the room to be able to keep the morale there, understanding, hey, we've got 12 hours here to go throughout our day, shake it off, maybe go do some team activity, right? Spend some time here while you're here in the Twin Cities. Get a little bit loose.
Yep.
Understand that they have an opportunity to go up against a team that, hasn't played all week against the Gophers.
Yep. Yeah. And it ain't going to get any easier because the Gophers, obviously super fast, super skilled. You just got done playing a hard 120 minutes of hockey. And now you got to go play the Gophers, who are fresh, haven't played this weekend. I will say, being a player and ex-player and a fan of the Gopher club team, we do sometimes like to shoot ourselves in the foot if we don't show up for a game. I think we understand how big of a game this is.
Yep.
I don't think we should look into the score of these games against St. Thomas too much from the Montana State side of things. Montana State played them really well. They outshot them by 15 shots this game, 1-0 game. If this is a measuring stick for St. Thomas, things are looking great. You know what I'm saying? You just shut out a team that has the largest goal differential in M2 ACHA hockey.
Right.
And you're like, wow, what, doesn't matter who we start in net, the team in front of him is going to shut him down, going to get opportunities and capitalize, and, that's a dangerous hockey team.
And the thing we're recognizing this season as the Gophers is, as a good hockey team, you just got to find ways to win games.
Yep.
That's exactly what the Tommies did, especially today. They got that one goal early and they made it stick.
Yep. I'm super excited to see how the Gophers react to that heavy, hard hockey that the Bobcats play. It's going to be another game like we play against St. Thomas, super fast, super skilled. They're very, very structured. I think St. Thomas is just naturally kind of structured because they have a lot of skill on the team. But the Bobcats are clearly very well coached. You know what I'm saying? That Dave Weaver does an awesome job implementing systems. They do a great job in the D zone. I am so excited for 60 minutes of hockey tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well,
So-
I'm excited to be on the bench.
Awesome. Well, anyone that was tuning in, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We'll be back at you, same channel tomorrow. 9 a.m. Gophers against the Montana State Bobcats. We'll have myself and Jimmy Thurman. Coach Andrew Krug will be behind the bench tomorrow. Hopefully we can give you all a little interview with him. So
Get my airtime back.
yeah, a little bit.
Right?
No,
No,
hey,
I'm excited.
Hey, thank you so much, everyone, for watching.